Services. Putting off fixing electrical problems in your home can be a real hazard. Visit AdvancedAirAndHeat.com to take care of your electrical problems today. Advanced Air Home Services. License EC 13010897.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you looking for information on a reverse mortgage or HELOC? It's so easy to get a quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with Renewal by Andersen and get $250 off every window and door this month only. Plus, 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. With Renewal by Andersen, you're getting American craftsmanship, expert installation, and signature service. But you're also getting longevity. Unlike traditional vinyl, Renewal by Andersen's acclaimed windows and doors use Fibrex, which doesn't warp, crack, or degrade over time, meaning your windows and doors are going to last a lot longer. Renewal by Andersen's acclaimed windows and doors are also designed to reduce outside noise, creating a quieter and more peaceful living environment. All you need to do is schedule a free in-home design consultation where their experts will guide you through the full replacement process from design to install. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com and lock in your savings today. Or better yet, stop by their showroom off of Lee Road in Winter Park. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active, and it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor portrayal.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
Team USA's World Cup dream is over. Coach Mauricio Pochettino on last night's 4-1 loss to Belgium.
We didn't show what normally that team can show, and that is a reality.
The Stars and Stripes still have not advanced to the quarterfinals since the 2002 World Cup. Belgium advances to Friday's quarters where they'll face Spain.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended.
It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from Is Mitch McConnell alive to mystery spaceballs wash up on the beach in Australia, and Graham Platner's campaign explodes after bombshell allegations, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
And so are you. You can join us with the dispatch. Send yours over at thenewsjunkie.com or in the app right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, Share the Show Tuesday. Let's go. That's right, everybody. Share the show. Spread the word about the News Junkie Radio Show live stream and podcast. Today here on the show, we need your help to continue the big push into the great beyond with this show. That sounds like we're dying, doesn't it? The great beyond.
Yeah.
I should reword that one. Let me take just a moment here before we start off with the opening clip and all of that good stuff. I wanted to tell you, thank you so much to everybody who came out for the live show on Friday.
Badass time.
We had a blast out there. There was one of the biggest crowds we've ever had for a show like that. People were jazzed. People were having a really good time. And I could feel that, and it made me have more fun.
Yes,
for sure.
I
enjoyed myself out there. It was a really good time. So thanks again to everybody who showed up for the live broadcast on Friday. If you missed that, you can go back on the website at thenewsjunkie.com and take a peek whenever you're ready. Did you have a big weekend, C-Lane?
Oh,
big
my
stuff?
gosh. I'll tell you what. I always say that I'm going to do this, and it never happens. We do like a 3-day weekend thing like this, but it kind of felt longer just because, you know, we were working, but we were not at work. And I go, we have the Monday. I'm going to do nothing on Monday. And boy, did I. Did I do
put up those
nothing
numbers
yesterday? Oh, did I? I don't know if partly it was because, I mean, I was very like, you know, kind of, I told Ashley, my wife, I was like, if I had worked today, I would not have enjoyed myself. After the entire weekend, you know, Friday, do the big live broadcast, Saturday's the 4th. Sunday's the after 4th.
Yeah, it's still the 4th. It's all one big long 4th as far as I see it.
But yeah, as much as I could, wife was at work, so it was just me and the kid yesterday, and we just kind of chilled on the couch.
Put a little whiskey on his gums, so he's chilled out.
No, I was out of whiskey. I had run out from the 4th and the other 4th.
Bourbon then. Yeah, whatever it takes. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers in the pulse to see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to ABC, everybody. General Hospital. This has never happened at the beginning of the show before.
I don't believe it has.
Do you know why we're going to General Hospital?
I think I do. Because
what a journey.
The guest star that they've had for a handful of days.
Yeah, I guess this is such a fun little time here. Tell me if you can recognize who this is, everybody. This is from General Hospital, the soap opera.
I spent the whole night praying that she was going to be okay. And I can't even get into her room to check on her because your agents won't let me.
At oversight, I'll have your name added to the list of approved visitors.
I don't want to be added to the list. I want my daughter back.
Then let me put this in language that you will understand. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh, my God. She punched him?
She slapped him. This was John Oliver, for those of you who have real good ears and eyes and know what's going on here. John Oliver said it was his lifelong dream to do a short stint on General Hospital or some soap opera. And General Hospital was like, we can make that happen. And they put him in the role, and for a couple of days, like some stretch of the show, John Oliver was a character. And so it was fantastic. I love that terrible accent he delivers there.
That ain't gonna happen.
I don't want to be added to the list. I want my daughter back.
Then let me put this in language that you will understand. That ain't gonna happen.
The worst fake slap you've ever seen. Just a big stare.
Was that missing something? Like, first of all, where was the sound of the slap?
There was no slap sound effect.
And was there no, like, does General Hospital not have some sort of orchestration or music in the background? Like
Foley?
A dramatic build? You think you would hear the slap, and then the camera kind of pushes in on John Oliver's face, and there should be like a swell, some sort of, what's going on?
Nothing going on in the background. I guess he said that he wanted to be on General Hospital, and they said, we can make that happen. And so they've been writing him into the show.
It sounds like a bit from his show, like one of his side bits, where he's like, he did the thing where he did a whole expose on the craziness of small town baseball and specifically the minor league baseball teams, and the crazy names and logos that they sometimes put out there, and the merch goes crazy, and these crazy theme nights. And he said, we want to change the name for an amount of time of any of your teams. We'll put up all the money. We'll do all the marketing budget. We'll plan a theme night. We want to do everything. We just need somebody to be on board. And I don't know if anybody ever took him up on that. This sounds like one of those things where he's like, I want to be on General Hospital. Somebody make it happen.
Yeah, it's like there was a guy one time who we featured on the show who his dream was to be a dead body on CSI. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
And the guy made all these videos. It was like, that's my big dream, is to be a dead body on CSI. He wanted this, and he got it.
I did not get the impression that she wanted to leave.
Well, she'll come around to the idea after you fire her.
Same scene?
I've seen a lot in my career.
I'm sure you have.
But never has an agent's mommy demanded that I boot their child from the bureau.
Well, I guess there's a first time for everything.
I think this is just how the show is. I think it's just like no sound in the background, no nothing, but there you go. That's fun. He went to General Hospital to be on the program. John Oliver, for those of you who don't know what's going on with that, ask your mom or your grandmother if she's still alive. And they're the ones who still watch soap operas, I guess. They keep them in business somehow, some way.
It is kind of fascinating that shows like General Hospital still exist. I don't know. I wonder if it would be even recognizable to somebody like, because I don't think my mother watches soap operas anymore. She used to.
Yeah, mine did too.
Oh, she used to love them. But, I think she used to tape them too. Like the first VCR we got where you could do a timed record. She used to watch them back.
Yeah, my mom used to do the same thing.
And I wonder if it would be even recognizable to her, or is the whole point of the soap opera the thing that you're supposed to be able to just kind of dive in and not need much context clues? Or
not for me. I have like that what I just watched. I have no idea what that was. I don't know what was going on there. I have no clue. Somebody on TNJ chat, by the way, says, great show all the way around on Friday. Fun games, an amazing time. When are we doing the next one? Come on, already? Pushing for the next one?
Give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I think probably October-ish, somewhere around the end of the year. We'll work on our setup. We'll make the cameras look nice and smooth, and we'll work on a bunch of stuff to make that even better. But yeah, we'll do another one in a couple of months, probably 2-3 months, or maybe a little bit more than that, but before the end of the year for sure. So thank you to everybody who came out. That was an absolute blast and a good time. I missed this yesterday, so why not work it in here now? Taking a look at the box office over the weekend. Let's just see how everything did. How much money did the movies make? Minions and Monsters. Is Jackson into the Minion stuff or no?
Not totally. I think he has some Minion toys, but
they're big, man.
He does not know. I mean, I don't know anything about them.
It didn't do well. That was number one at the box office, which sounds good, but it made $36.4 million for the 3-day weekend, $61.4 for the 5-day weekend.
Is the July 4th weekend a big box office weekend? I know that we've had big box office movies come out on July 4th weekend, because obviously, like Independence Day, like that came out on, I think, the 3rd of July.
Right.
And it was huge.
I think it is pretty big. Yeah, it's usually big, and it didn't do quite as well. The Minions and Monsters movie, people have had enough, I guess. Or, I don't know. I think there was a lot of people traveling around in this particular 4th of July weekend. I really do. It's a lot of people on the move. And I think that affected this. Minions and Monsters didn't do as well as expected. Toy Story 5 was in the number 2 spot. This surprise movie, Young Washington, which is about, as you might expect, a young George Washington, did pretty well. 3rd place with $20.8 million at the box office.
They're like, listen,
weekend.
Did you see how big Hamilton was? Mm-hmm. History is back, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if he's rapping in this one. I think it's from the one of the religious movie outlets. Angel is the name of the outlet behind this, but did pretty well, all things considered. $20.8 million. Supergirl bombed out. I think it was an even worse second week drop than Joker 2, Folie à Deux, which is epically, historically bad. And so that movie continues to fail to find an audience, with $9.6 million falling out of the top 3 and a number 4. Steven Spielberg's movie Disclosure Day at $105 million. Total, that made $6 million this week, and it never really caught on. Obsession has just gone into the stratospheres, and that's still at number 6 with another $5.3 million. You watched that, right?
I watched that, Sunday night. Didn't think I was going to make it through it. Not because it's any remark or reflection on the quality of the movie. It was the time of day and the proceedings that led to watching Obsession for me.
You were drunk, huh?
It was fantastic.
It's good, right? So clever, interesting idea. Now, here's my hot take of the moment here. And trust me, there are a lot more fiery things on the way in the show today, especially considering what we have to talk about. We got a lot to rip it wide open. But we watched Backrooms. We finally saw Backrooms this weekend. And it had been like Obsession and Backrooms were the little movies that could. Those were the signs of new Hollywood, these young upstart YouTubers. They make a cheap movie. It explodes and makes hundreds of millions of dollars. I love those stories. So I go and watch Obsession, and I thought it was great. I thought it was inventive. I thought it was well done. The woman who's the lead actress in that, my God, did she drill like bipolar, crazy nut job. Her face, her eyes, her, like, really? Just, she's going to be something. All right. She was so good in Obsession. Backrooms, I don't know if this is going to land well with some of you or not. Backrooms sucked.
No.
All right? Yeah. Backrooms was like, that's one of these movies, like, when you watch it, that I think everyone afterwards wants to sit around in a room and be like, I'll tell you what it meant to me, pal. This movie was really about the ins and outs of a life not yet lived. And you're like, what? I watched Backrooms. I hated it. I don't know if some of you are on my side on this, or if you guys actually love this. It was cool that they made the movie. The rooms were kind of interesting. I didn't hate some of this stuff, but the movie overall, it's so much hype, so much money. I thought it sucked. We'll see if you agree.
We started it, but the version we had wasn't that great a quality. And
what do you mean? What version are you talking about?
The screener that I was sent as a reviewer of movies.
Just openly pirating now. It wasn't good enough quality for you. All right. Did you complain? Was there like an email address?
That part was distracting, and then on top of that, it was slow to get our attention, and so I was just like, all right, let's call this one. We'll go to something else.
So Jason on YouTube says, Backrooms is great, but I wouldn't pay to see it. I just didn't like it. I mean, I didn't have a bad time, but overall, when the movie ended, I left wanting more, and I didn't think it was that good. And I'll tell you the worst thing ever. I go to bed after watching Backrooms, and when I go to bed, all I could do is dream about going into room after room after room after room and I'm like, no! I went into the world of the movie. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I hated it so much. Because VW Shane on TNJ Chat says, I saw it twice. I really enjoyed it. It made me mad afterwards that I just couldn't stop dreaming of this. eFresh Rock says, isn't that one based off a game? No, I think it's a YouTube movie that, again, a young person made, young dude, very talented guy, made a YouTube movie, and then they said, it was called Backroom, or it was called The Backrooms, and then they made this other version.
But
Cleaner.
Yeah, drop the make it a little cleaner. But there you go. All right, we'll get into more of that as the show rolls on, and of course your reactions to all this. But let's talk a little bit about the drama last night, baby. That's what we got to get into. I want to talk about what the hell happened with the Team USA World Cup game. What happened with the other players, Belgium, making fun of us, mocking us afterwards? What happened with Trump possibly getting involved to get a red card removed? I mean, there was so much drama built into this. And boy, oh boy, do we have some things to go over. If you don't know what's going on, we'll take you all through it and give you the rundown on what happened with all the World Cup drama last night, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at slow traffic right now on I-4 for those traveling east and westbound on the interstate right now by the major attractions exits. Things are currently still up to speed for those who need to travel on the Beach Line and on the Greenway today. No major delays to report for those on the 408 or 429. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
Shows, meals, drinks, even a roller coaster ride. All-inclusive 2-night stay at Luxor or Excalibur, starting at $300.
Hello. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes. Here we are on a Tuesday. A Share the Show Tuesday. I introduce you to the new and improved studio screen. Hi there, Maya. Hi, Mama Greaser. Hi, Son State John. Hope your eye's doing well. Now, on studio screen, we got some tweaking and testing to do here. But I should be able to see when you send in dispatches, when you subscribe to secret shows, when you gift secret shows. Lots of different little feedback mechanisms all built into this. I have never been able to see this before, but I should be able to see super chats on the studio screen. So let's get to testing those out today. All right, let's get some momentum going. Let's get a big support Tuesday. Let's get some gifted subscriptions going. Even if it's you, just you subscribing yourself over on the newsjunkie.com. That helps immensely. That's how you support the show. That's what keeps things going around here. So do that over at the newsjunkie.com right now. And when you do, or simply send a super chat or send a dispatch even, that's free. We'll see if it works on the studio screen today. All right, I'm excited. How many of you, just to get an idea, chat, how many of you watched the USA World Cup game last night? Yes or no? Did you watch? Did you watch the Team USA World Cup game last night? Congrats, Kyle. Kyle got a job, he says, on TNJ chat. Good for you, buddy. CFL Kent says, nope. Bootsy says she watched it. Mystic says most of it. Very disappointing. Anonymous said I did not watch. Well, I will tell you this. Without a doubt, I have some good drama from that. Also, somebody said, I met some YouTubers. They were nice to me during the Friday broadcast, and now I don't know how to feel about it over on Twitch. You hear that, YouTubers? They secretly like you. They secretly like you on Twitch. 2 minutes. Now, how many of us chat, think that Trump was actually responsible for the rescinded red card, for the removal of the red card from the Team USA player? Trump says he called the head of FIFA. He was, in some ways, at least in some ways, taking credit for it. We'll go through all the drama on this. How many of you think Trump was actually responsible for getting rid of the Team USA red card? How many of us think that? Nah, the big soccer heads don't care about Trump. Isn't he friendly with the head of FIFA, though? That's what I heard. He called the FIFA president. I think he was at least somewhat responsible. However, eFresh Rocks on TNJ Chat says not at all. I don't think he was responsible at all. Mike says he was not. So we got that. We're going to get into that next, all this World Cup stuff. And there's some good avenues to go down. Then, little surprise for you. I know it's a Share the Show Tuesday, but our friend Amy Kaufelt will be joining us today on the show in about 40 minutes or so. 90 seconds and we're back live. Amy Kaufelt will be joining us on a special Tuesday appearance for her. And then we got to talk about Graham Platner. How many of you are following that story, chat? Yes or no, if you've been following the Graham Platner story? I got good, juicy stuff on that. Sunday John says, so many people walked up to me and saw Kokomo and thanked me for the subscriptions. Had fun all day. Sunday John, I hope you've been wearing those glasses, man. Thank you to MFQ for the super chat for $2. Appreciate you, MFQ. Look, it works. The super chat. It's highlighted in gold, MFQ. Now we got to see if gifted subs works. Give some subscriptions over on thenewsjunkie.com. We're coming back right now. Let's go.
Acres of Florida land, including thousands of acres of working farmland. Wilton Simpson is a conservative workhorse who gets the job done. A proven conservative farmer endorsed by Ron DeSantis. Wilton Simpson for Commissioner of Agriculture. Paid for by Wilton Simpson, Republican, for Florida Commissioner of Agriculture.
The World Cup is underway, and it's been incredible. On our podcast, The Away End, with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, we're talking about the games that have delighted us, the teams that have inspired us, and what surprised us, all through the lens of being massive fans of the world's most beautiful game.
Daniel, I can hardly believe the drama that the group stage brought us, but now it's time to talk about the teams that are left as the tournament reaches its crescendo and decides the next World Cup champion.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, and listen now.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the new.
Item number one, is Mitch McConnell even alive? Some real good drama around that. Is he like literally dead or brain dead? We'll talk about all of that in just a moment on the show. We also have to get to the Graham Platner stuff. That's all political stuff, so we'll put a bunch of fun stuff in between it. We don't like to dwell on politics too much around here, but let's talk about the big thing. The World Cup, baby. Sealand, Did you watch the United States versus Belgium?
I saw very little of it.
Oh, my God. And that's why they lost. It was you. I blame Sealand, everybody, for not watching and therefore leading to the unbelievably embarrassing loss of the United States of America against Belgium. It was 4-1. It was just like, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I know I'm not a soccer fan, so real soccer fans are going to get mad at me here, but maybe not. Real soccer fans, tell me if you agree with me on this. It was embarrassing. right? Like, real soccer fans, back me up. Like, that was a pretty embarrassing performance, right?
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched almost the whole thing. Like, that's rare for me, for sure. I was sitting there watching, and at the beginning I go, hell yeah, we got some momentum here. We're coming out on fire. Go! Wait, hold on. That's the wrong team. That's Belgium. Oh, that's Belgium that's doing that well right now. And then quickly the United States puts one on the board, and it was an amazing kick. And I thought, wow, okay, maybe we got something going here. But it was just so one-sided, and I thought it was kind of an embarrassing performance. I really do. I maybe you soccer fans are like, no, you don't understand, Sean. It's actually that Belgium is just that good, or this or that. I thought it looked so one-sided, and it just didn't look like a winning team to me, and they obviously didn't win. And Florida Scratcher says soccer is just too boring. There was like fits of excitement, little things here and there, just a little bit of excitement. But I think even some of the commentators thought that they were embarrassing out there, almost as embarrassing as those Where's Waldo-ass uniforms they have them wear before the game starts. But this is Carly Lloyd. I believe she was a soccer player, and she's talking about the performance of the United States versus Belgium.
No, look, it's a bit of a downer for us being out here now after this loss, but I felt like they lost the game before they even stepped out onto the pitch, and I'm not sure why, and I don't know the reasons, but just from the beginning, just chasing, tentative, scared, just not confident on the ball.
Yeah, they didn't look like a winning team out there. And again, I know I'm not a sports person. Maybe you disagree. Some people who are saying they did not play well at all. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was incredibly one-sided. And even some of the commentators here saying like they lost the game before they even went out on the field. So now everybody can go back to hating soccer again. All right. Your uncle's in a good position because he's been hating soccer the whole time continuously. But now everybody else can go back to it.
You were right the whole time, Uncle.
Yeah, there's that you could go back to. Look how rude some of the headlines were on this. This is why I'm bringing this up. Even if you folks don't like soccer, look at this. Look at Canada. The Globe and Mail is one of the bigger news outlets in Canada. And their article says, America rigs the World Cup and then bows out as a laughingstock. This is what their headline in Canada. Canada, screw you. All right? Screw you. Now all I'll do is root against your team if this is the way you want to be about this. So we dropped the ball, literally, and didn't do that great. But their headline from the Globe and Mail in Canada is America rigs the World Cup. We'll get into why they're saying that momentarily. And then bows out as a laughingstock. Were we a laughingstock? I don't know. Maybe you think we were. Let us know. Send your dispatches or tell us how much you don't care about soccer or the World Cup at all. I just thought that was crazy. I can only think of one thing more satiric than the only country on earth that still routinely makes fun of soccer fixing the world's biggest soccer tournament in their favor. That would be fixing it and losing anyway, says the Canadian journalist. Say this much for Donald Trump. He did what he could. He made the call to FIFA and got the forward Flaren Baloguns, I'm sure I screwed that up, I apologize, got his red card rescinded. For those of you who don't know, we had a player on the U.S. soccer team who got a red card in the last game, and apparently that means they can't play in the next game.
Correct.
But some people said that the red card wasn't fair, and Trump, who didn't even know what a red card was, he was like, I didn't know what a red card was. He gets on the phone, and he calls FIFA guy, and he goes, FIFA guy, take away the red card.
It's me, your Peace Award recipient.
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah. He absolutely won some kind of award from them, so they have a connection. This is not that anybody can prove it. It's one of those bend the nose and say no more type things. Everybody got angry about it, especially Belgium, who had to play the U.S. on Monday night. Oh, get angry if you want. Here's the deal. The Mexican fans were harassing everybody that they were playing outside their hotel by making noise and honking horns.
But you said that wasn't cheating.
And that wasn't cheating, right? Well, so if we make a little call, we ring up the FIFA guy, and we try to get a red card dropped.
Tim FIFA.
Mr. FIFA. Yeah. I would say that, is that not fair game? They don't think so. Until 3 weeks ago, most people had no idea that this player is an American by birthright citizenship and also alive. He plays in France for Monaco, who are pretty average. Boy, this is just a hater. This guy is a hater writing this thing. America rigs the World Cup and then bows out as a laughingstock. I don't want to come after Canada because of some loser named Cathal, the journalist who wrote this whole thing. I don't want to come at all of Canada, but I mean, really, do you want to start throwing things? Do you really want to get into this warfare? Do you want to put the United States up against Canada on like literally anything? Just anything? Anything at all? We win, okay? I'm sorry, Canada. Maybe you guys hate this person too. Let us know, you Canadians who are listening to the show. But I guess this goes deep. It goes deep. Here's Trump talking about the red card situation. Maybe we'll learn something here. What can we get out of the drama? Let's listen in.
So I saw the play. And I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well. Really well.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
That wasn't a foul.
Tell us what offsides is.
That wasn't even an infraction. That was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going, no, these were two great athletes that got tangled up. And
there's some woman in the background like nodding her head. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
He's right.
Yeah. He's right about that.
This referee who is a little bit suspect. If you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy.
Wait, hold on.
But very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. Even people on the other side.
I just have to say, why are we talking about this? Why is this? Do we fix the other stuff? Have we fixed everything? We're good now. I take it. Everything's good. The Strait of Hormuz is open or whatever. God, Hormuz is fixed.
Close,
yeah.
No cigar, but close.
Yeah, like it's all working, right? Everything's good now. We've got this going.
We got lucky. Wow, and it's very interesting. They say they don't show them in slow motion. And I never realized that. I never heard of that before. That they're not allowed to review in slow motion because it's so different. Because you'll take one little quarter of a second and you'll see that a hand is touching a neck or you see something.
All right, so I guess at some point, Trump says, I called the head of FIFA. I called the FIFA man. Mr. FIFA, you must take down.
I called him direct. He left his
card.
phone number on my Peace Prize.
Yeah, was it Reagan who said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down the wall?
Mr.
Trump
FIFA, tear down this red card.
Mr. FIFA, tear down the red card.
And Mr.
FIFA
says, why tear down the red card? And he said, because
it's a little bit suspect.
It's a little bit suspect.
It's a little bit suspect. And then Ted Cruz was there. Remember, Trump said Ted Cruz's wife was a dog, but he's still there, and he's at the White House. And he was saying, like, Trump was the one who got the red card taken away. It got the player from the USA back in this game that made everybody so angry.
And on behalf of all Americans, thank you for getting rid of that ridiculous red card.
I wonder at this point, so aren't a lot of these people are the people who think soccer's gay, right? Aren't these all the people like, that sport's terrible? The soccer's the worst, right? They will literally say soccer is gay. They'll say things like that. And now
they try to call it football. We know what the real football is.
I was like, so is that over? I mean, I saw people talking about this too. Hang on, because some of the tweets that went viral afterward were Adam Friedland, the comedian, pretty funny guy. He said soccer is gay again. 1.2 million views after the U.S. World team for the World Cup is lost out. This is another one, 819,000 views. Somebody says, officially concluding my 24-hour soccer fan phase. Viral clip of a pastor saying that he's not gay anymore.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I like women. I said women. I'm not gay.
Yeah, you see. Aren't these the same people that think this about soccer? And they're like, that was a terrible call. I don't know. But
Is it just me or does that guy look like Jordan Peele? Or am I thinking of somebody different?
He does. He looks 100% like Jordan Peele.
If you would have just sent me that randomly, I would have thought, oh, that's Jordan Peele acting in a skit in a church.
That's from Key and Peele. Here's the team, Belgium, after they scored their 4th goal against the United States, and then they started rubbing it in our faces by doing the Trump dance. They were doing that little, that little thing like you're pulling strings with your hands. Yeah, they're mocking us. They beat us 4-1, and now they're mocking us out there
Trump's
on the field.
was more like he's drying his neck with a towel.
Yeah, you can do that one too. That's another one. Yeah, you could go up high with the towel dry like that. You're right, and then you can go down low. You could do this one too. There's lots of variations
or
on
just
this,
Trump,
I think.
Trump has like really big toothpicks and he's just getting his ears, getting a little bit in each ear.
You putting toothpicks in your ear? What are you doing? Man?
Q-tips.
What are you up to over there?
Doesn't want to have to listen to Melania anymore.
Yeah. They did the Trump dance, so they did a little bit of trolling with the Trump dance. There are a lot of people weighing in on this. This was RG3, who is a football player. He used to play for the Washington team. And he says, if you're a U.S. citizen and you aren't rooting for the USA against Belgium, you're a traitor. 2.4 million views, by the way. No other way to put it. You can't be trusted if you're rooting against your own country in the World Cup. All right? That's what he says. If you are a U.S. citizen and you aren't rooting for the USA against Belgium, you are a traitor. No other way to put it. And how does everybody feel about that?
I like the back and forth after this. What if you just don't care about soccer and RG3 goes, you care today?
Today's the day. Yeah, you care today. So that was another sentiment rolling around out there. What else do we have? Oh, I guess the head coach of Belgium said the player who ended up getting the red card, and the red card was removed after all this drama, reached out to him. Again, this is the head coach of the opposing team that beat the hell out of us. Let's see.
You've spoken with Balogun after the game. What did you say? Well, he came to talk to me. I really like that. It's not his fault. He's not the one to blame.
It's ballsy.
And that's what I told him. I really appreciate the intention. I appreciate this player.
Okay, appreciate. I'm going to stop her there. I'm going to stop her because I don't like the way she's saying appreciate. I just want to get that out there. That was appreciate.
See me? I appreciate this player.
Okay, it sounds a little bit different. The first one in particular sounded a little bit more racy.
Sounded like she puts like a financial value on random stuff.
Really? Praise ass. Yeah, that is what it sounded like. What do you think about all of this? Do you just hate it? Do you think soccer's terrible? Do you think there was corruption going on? What do you think? Let us know. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or an email to tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. Matter of fact, we have a bunch of those coming in. Mike emails the show. Mike says, Canada is correct. Canada's correct about that hateful article about the United States of America? Canada's correct, Mike says. Trump pressured FIFA and showed we have no integrity. USA should not have played the guy. We deserve to get our ass kicked. We deserved to get our ass kicked, says this emailer. What do you think about that, folks? Let us know. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, let's see. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got much more to get into, including your responses. I got to pick a side for everybody that we're going to get to, and we have a little special treat for you. Our friend Amy Kaufeld usually joins us on Mondays, but she is going to be joining us today here on a Share the Show Tuesday, and all that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
The belly face down on the mattress.
Real Music Weekends are Classic Alternative.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. The weather story for this week, building heat and lowering rain chances. We've got an upper level ridge of high pressure moving in. That's going to help to clear out the rain and really get the heat going. Also, the arrival of some of that Saharan dust all the way from Africa. Yeah, it peaks in July, and that gets here this weekend, making for hazy skies.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes. Scope mic activated. I don't know if I saw the alerts, so I'm going to have to write down gifted subs. I don't think I saw them on my studio screen, but we did have some, so hang on. Okay, let's see.
You could try to brush it off, joke about it. When it matters the most, it still shows up. It's time to call Premier Men's Medical Center because they want you to get your confidence back. They want you to make sure your relationship is not suffering.
Thank you to Cat BH for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Bless your soul. Love you. Appreciate you. Thanks for the big support, Cat BH. Go claim those over on thenewsjunkie.com.
And then you get a roadmap. You go, here's what we do to help fix this. Here's what we do to help you.
Thank you to John the Exterminator for the gifted subscription. Appreciate you. There that is. Over on the website. Those are showing up. Maybe that's how it works. That's fine. That's fine if that's the case. I got to look and put them in manually like this.
Feel like themselves again.
And look at this big support.
407-723-7533.
Brad Wallace, Realtor. He got that Realtor money. He's throwing it at us. 13 subscriptions, courtesy of Brad Wallace, Realtor. I will mention all 3 of those when we come back. Brad Wallace times 13, Cat BH times 5, and who is the other one? John the Exterminator. John the Exterminator times 1. Thank you all so much for the gifted subscriptions. Stand by, I'm coming closer to the mic in just a moment here. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that momentum going right now. Go grab those, claim those subscriptions. They're going fast. Over on thenewsjunkie.com. Uh-oh.
Hey everybody, Jim Forward here from my friends over at Modern Plumbing Industries. I think everyone can agree, when you have plumbing problems in your house, the entire place comes to a screeching halt. That's why I suggest having access to Modern Plumbing Industries, an amazing company.
I think we got 1 left. 1 subscription available. All right, I'm coming. 90 seconds and we're back. Now, question for you, chat. Now that Team USA has flopped, pretty embarrassing loss to Belgium, are you still going to be watching the rest of the World Cup? Yes? No? Let me know. Let's keep those gifted subscriptions coming in. Hit the gift icon over on thenewsjunkie.com. Claim yours now. I'm still going to watch the World Cup. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. And I hope there's a little more drama mixed up in it, because I had fun. I happen to like it. And I hope you agree. All right, here we go. We're coming back. Stand by.
Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dispatch, this is Mindy, Advanced Air Home Services.
Putting off fixing electrical problems in your home can be a real hazard. Visit AdvancedAirandHeat.com to take care of your electrical problems today. Advanced Air Home Services. License EC 13010897.
1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. This summer, you can help keep Dad in the game with the Home Run Challenge by donating in honor of your favorite team. The Prostate Cancer Foundation has invested over $1 billion in research, leading to 15 new treatments that are helping men live longer. Step up to the plate and make a difference. Visit PCF.org to donate and learn more. That's PCF.org. Donate today.
Vote for the 789s as Orlando Weekly's best cover band.
filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the news.
So good to see you. So good to have you with us. And I want to say big thanks to a couple of people who got the ball rolling for us here. I want to see big momentum today on the show. We're back. We're ready to have some fun with you. Support us with some subscriptions like Brad Wallace Realtor. Thank you for the 13 gifted subs. My God. Woo. Thank you, Brad Wallace. Those went really, really fast. It just completely gone in a matter of seconds. Cat BH, thanks for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Premium subscriptions over there on the website. And, of course, John the Exterminator with the one. One is the loneliest number, but we'll take it as far as subscriptions go.
I appreciate it, John.
Me too. And that unlocks secret shows for somebody and all the premium features being a member over on the newsjunkie.com. So thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it. We got to talk about all the drama around. Is Mitch McConnell alive? What's happening? I think it's been so fun, especially for me, to watch what's going on with the World Cup stuff and all the drama around that. It makes people act really weird. I think people start making decisions that don't seem logical to me. Like I see a huge rally of support, for instance, for the Egyptian team. And one of the reasons was because they wanted them to be more successful than the Argentinian team. And I'm like, why? Why are people against Argentina and for Egypt? This is kind of interesting here. And they said, well, Sean, Argentina is racist. So wait. The Argentinian team is racist? They're like, wow, their team is racist and their supporters did this or that, or they did some racist stuff. And I'm like, well, I have some things to tell you about how things go in Egypt, just so you know. Like, it was a weird-ass thing to be like, we can't support the Argentinians because this happened and that happened. I'll be like, you could take that and multiply it by 5,000, and you'll have the exact same situation as you see in Egypt. But people have chosen Egypt over Argentina. If you're involved in that drama, we want to hear from you and hear why. Let us know. Send a dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com. All right, there are so many things to work through today. But one of the things we always want to hear about is what you have going on. What's going on in your world? What's happening where you are? You could send us a dispatch or an email. And in fact, let's see here. Let me get one of these in. Here is, this is your 7th farthest fan in Austin, Texas, talking about some of the drama from the weekend.
Why does everyone act like FIFA hasn't lifted red card suspensions before? It happens all the time. I remember Cristiano Ronaldo had a 3-game suspension, and they let all 3 games go to let him play in the World Cup. I can't remember what year it was, but just Google it. It happens all the time. There's
I'm
at least
sure
10 or 15 times that FIFA has lifted red cards because they go back and do a review process after the match. Happens all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think one of the problems here is everything that Trump touches turns mega political instantly, and then politics ruins everything. So, like, it was like, we're having a good time. World Cup stuff's going on. I was like, the political people are in here now. What are you doing? Like, every time you're talking about something and you're having a good time and you got some kind of drama coming in, and then any of the political people weigh in, you're like, oh, great, here we go. Now there's going to be an influx of people who are all the political people. And I think that's just going to make people go crazy.
The people that I talked to that were actually paying attention to the World Cup, following the things, watching entire games, not something that I was able to do. But they said, hey, that red card, when you do look at the footage, was kind of crap, would be the nicer way to put it. And I did see like this sentiment from people on Facebook, USA fans that were like the same thing that email said earlier. We're like, we should have not played him, because then.
Well, what the hell? So the FIFA goes, we're going to take the red card away, and they're like, well, we're going to take a stand against this. What?
Well, no, I think they weren't saying we should have not played him as some sort of message to President Trump. I think it was more like, if we play him and win, everybody's going to say, well, you just won because your boy got your red card overturned and you cheated. Yeah. Whereas if we don't play him and win, it would be an even better win because we did it on,
Yeah, of course. Okay. Why do we why do we constantly, why is there this movement to always hold America to a level of standards that you hold no other country on earth to? Why does that happen? I would love for some answers to that. Why is there always this effort to hold America to like a series of rules and to all of these different, comparative things that you will never hold any other country on the face of the earth to? That's kind of what I was talking about with the Argentina thing on a lighter level.
Right.
Which I just saw Chaos said Argentina is full of former Nazis. Chaos, I love you, but I don't know if you know what the word full means. There's no way that is like the country has some significant population of Nazis and there are a bunch of racists there. And if you're basing that off, like whatever you're basing that off of, I'm telling you those problems exist in Egypt too. That's why it seems silly to me. But we have like these standards that people want to hold America to. Like, oh, FIFA, the organization, said we rescind the red card. Well, America should have been above that. And they should have not played the player, even though FIFA rescinded the red card. No other country would ever hold themselves to that. Not one. Not one country on the planet would be like, well, we do this too. That's what we're going to do. I hate when people do this. I saw a lot of this around the 4th of July and a lot of this craziness. We hold America to these weird empirical standards that we'll never hold anybody else to. Like, hey, you're talking about America being great, or you're talking about this, or you're talking about that. What about X, Y, and Z? It's like, okay, will you apply those same standards to any other country that you think is somehow morally superior? No, you're not going to do it. If they gave us the red card removal, you're crazy if you don't take it. Yeah. You just got to take it,
especially
right?
with what that dispatcher said, where it was something that happens all the time.
Yeah. I think that seems kind of weird to me, but I don't know. What do I know? Let me know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Here is Rogue Florida Man talking about the opening clip, which I love, of John Oliver, who fulfilled his dream of being on a soap opera. Here's Rogue Florida Man.
Hey, News Junkies, I'll tell you who was huge into soap operas back in the day. When I was a cop in the 80s, and you worked the afternoon shift, you didn't go to work till 6 p.m., so you had all day to sit around and watch daytime television. All the cops were into our stories.
Really? Cops on soap opera watch front? I didn't think about that.
I mean,
it could be possible.
It was people who spend all day at home and don't have a day job or a day shift to get to, or stuff like that. I remember, like, for me, soap operas. My mom watching soap operas was like, if I was homesick from school, she at least got to watch soap operas. And I go, and in my head, like looking back on it, I go, how did you even know what was going on if the rest of the time you were working?
Yeah, I did that too. And then
this is before they had the soap opera channel.
What did your mom watch though? Which one? Did she watch the one I watched? My mom watched the one Passions for a little while, which had the little person playing a doll, which was so funny to me even as a kid.
I don't remember Passions. The names I remember were, of course, General Hospital.
That's
All My Children. Possibly a One Life to Live. I don't know. One Life to Live and Days of Our Lives were the other two that were kind of big around that time, but I don't know.
And as you, just as a viewer who didn't watch it, you just get them all confused, right?
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, which one? Is this the one where the lady has AIDS and she's not? And you're like, oh, totally different. Yeah, I don't know who's watching that stuff, but I'm glad that John Oliver got to have his wish. That's what he was looking for. Let's see here. We got more of your dispatches coming in, so I'll get those queued up. But let's stay on time for once. How about that, C-Lane? Should we do that? Yeah. I know it's crazy. A little bit of a radical idea. Let's stay on time for once. We have so much drama to sort through today.
I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes explaining how I will be on time today.
All right. Here we go. I'm not going to do that, I promise. We're going to break, but I want to tell people, I know you're not used to this, because normally our friend Amy Caulfield joins us on Mondays, but she's done us a solid, and Amy Caulfield is coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's never been easier to listen to Real Radio 104.1 wherever you go. Make us your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash call.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Studio screen is working very well. Just a couple of tweaks I got to do after the show today. We are getting inundated with comments, so it's struggling a little bit. An email exclusive for the Skull Mike crew, YouTube, Twitch, you ad-free premium subscribers over on thenewsjunkie.com. I salute you. I'll give you this exclusive email as hopefully you head on over to support the show by subscribing to Secret Shows. I want to see somebody subscribe because that's supposed to pop up in real time. And you know what else I can see now? When your subscription renews, I can see what kind of streak you're on. Somebody yesterday was on an 8-year streak. Crazy. Hit the gift icon over on thenewsjunkie.com. Yes, it's low. I'll turn it up. All right, it's up now. Rob emails the show. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Here's what he says, folks. Rob says about the FIFA suspension. What people don't seem to understand is Trump made a phone call, but the ones that overturned the red card were not the person Trump spoke to. It was another governing group involved with FIFA that made that happen. Keep up the work, says Rob. Oh. Thank you. You too can email the show if you want to be anonymous. Put that up on top. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Amy K on a Tuesday. True. I know, it's special. It's a special Tuesday. Sean, I sent you an email about a guy who was caught with 2 flamethrowers and 900 rounds of ammo, and he was in front of a church. I saw this story. I'll see if we can get into that at some point today. We just have so much stuff for once. Insecure Walrus says, I think I signed up for Secret Shows on the day it was announced and I've been subscribed since. How long ago was that? I'll have to look. A long time. But that means when your renewal goes through, I'll see it. And it'll be like, tell you what kind of streak you're on. I'm building more of that kind of stuff into the site because the support is what matters moving forward. All right, Amy Kaufeld coming up in just a minute. Luke and Laura? Is that a soap opera? I just remember Passions because Passions had the little person who was playing a doll that magically would come to life, and then they would just like run around. And like a little person. It was hilarious. It was amazing. So much good drama. Rachel says, I honestly don't care about all this. Well, other people do, Rachel. Kind of a big deal. If you're talking about the World Cup stuff. But don't worry, don't fret. We have many things to talk about. Like, is Mitch McConnell alive? I'm sure you have thoughts on that, Rachel. Anonymous says, I really don't like the FIFA trophy. You have to look really close to see it's not just an inverted nutsack. Wow. That's kind of true, though. Luke and Laura's son, Lucky, was one of my first celeb crushes. I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com.
All right, here we go. We got Amy, but we don't have any audio on her yet, I don't think. Here she is. You can see her on the grid. I don't know if she doesn't know that we can't hear her.
Stay stocked. In buildings, stay ready. Call 1-800-RAIN.
Amy, you hear me? Amy?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We don't usually do this on a Tuesday.
Amy, wave if you can hear me. Hello?
Oh.
I hear her. I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me?
Hello? Amy, can you hear me? Amy, can you hear me?
They're working on it for.
Okay.
Radio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This
Here we are on a Share the Show Tuesday. If you don't know what that means, it means you're supposed to share the show. It's right there in the title, friends. It is right there in the title. Share the show on a Share the Show Tuesday. I think we're connected with our friend Amy Caulfield, but I don't know if she can hear us or if we,
I don't think she could hear us just yet.
No, we can
or
hear
maybe
her.
just barely.
She's saying just a little bit. If I scream really loud, will that work? Well, we'll see. We'll have to see. Let me know what's going on with that, CLH. They're having a couple of issues as they get things tuned in over on Fox 35 side. We don't usually do this on Tuesdays. We usually knock it out on Monday. But yesterday, Celine was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to work. I don't want to do the show. And I said, fine.
That's
We'll
100% not what happened.
No, we had planned this way in advance. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. Honest to God, Courtney and I had the best time doing everything
nice
but working.
out the window there. It looked like a nice day outside of the living room.
Tell me you didn't even for a moment step foot outside all day yesterday.
No,
That's
I did.
I
did a little light grilling, and I had somebody come over, pick up some stuff that was left. I saw a person or two, but for the most part, I just stayed inside.
I saw a human yesterday. It was a successful day overall. All right, I'm going to get to some more of your dispatches. Do you want to see if are we doing everything right on our side as far as we know?
I'm sure we are.
Yeah. I like to believe that too. We haven't changed anything. So,
Amy, can you hear us?
I hear you now.
Oh, you can hear. She's here.
Listen, I got two brilliant engineers back here helping me. We have a new setup, and so we're working on it. So kudos to Volpe and Doug because I can hear you now.
I see them running around like crazy in the background. I see a little activity, a flurry of it. We don't usually get to see you on a Tuesday. Yeah. But here we go. We got Amy Caulfield on a Tuesday.
Your day off yesterday, you guys.
Oh my God, so good, so good.
Yeah, what'd you do?
We watched a little bit of the soccer action, the World Cup thing.
A little bit or a lot?
Yeah, I watched 2/3 of the game, so that seems to be quite a bit, right?
More than I watched. I did not catch.
To know that they weren't going to win.
Yeah, and they really got their asses kicked. It was quite a beating and a little bit brutal. Just in case they're listening and tweaking on this, your microphone is a little bit peaked out, but otherwise.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me tell them. Doug, they said my microphone's a little peaked out.
Yeah. Doug's like, I thought we had it.
What does it sound like? Does it sound like tinny or what?
That's a hard question to answer. Yeah, a little bit like that.
They think maybe I'm overmodulated. Hold on. We're going to fix it.
Yeah, I believe you. We got everything going. The ratings over at Fox for some of these games must be just wild, right?
It's great. And honestly, you guys, I think that there's enough interest now that even though the U.S. is out, and tell me if I'm sounding better, I think
worse.
Now that the U.S. is out, I still think people will watch. Because now people will be like, okay, I'll follow Lionel Messi, or I'll follow, you know what I mean? They'll follow.
Are you still going to watch?
What's that?
Are you still going to watch?
Oh, yeah, I'll still be watching.
Okay.
I really hope, too, and I know you guys, are, big fans of the Pride in Orlando City, I feel like this will also create like some new energy for our own local soccer fans.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see actually if it carries over and does that. I was just wondering if you would keep watching, or maybe if you would be more excited after the Team USA dropped out, since I did notice that were you even in the United States of America for the 4th of July, Amy Kaufel?
I was. Thank you very much.
Okay.
In fact, we intentionally came home on July 3rd so we would not miss it.
Okay.
I cannot be out of the country for July 4th.
I'm like, what is happening? She is gallivanting across Canada, and the 4th of July is approaching. Is Amy K even going to be here? What did you end up doing? Did you guys do something fun for the 4th of July?
So, okay, this is sad, but we went to our friends and we hung out for the day. And then, as you guys know, it started raining. So then we went inside. So we ended up watching soccer for most of the afternoon. And we were just like eating, drinking, having fun. And then I was like, okay, I really want to go to see some fireworks tonight. And so I waited and I waited and I waited for the rain to stop, and the rain never stopped. And so finally we ended up sitting on the couch and watching the fireworks.
Oh,
so
well,
really sad. So I'm like, well, we may as well have just stayed in Canada because we didn't actually go anywhere.
Hey, did you see? Okay, I've loved some takes on this from everybody. Did anybody see the fireworks in Washington, D.C. for the 4th of July?
We watched.
Okay.
On TV.
I thought
my daughter is there right now. She's doing an internship in D.C. So I was like, oh, we have to watch because she's there. So
I can't believe I'm saying this. I thought it was too much. I thought it was, at one point it looked like the Capitol was getting nuked. There were so many fireworks. They were going off in 17 different places. The whole horizon full of fireworks. It was too much.
They planned a 40-minute show, and in the 40 minutes, because they were saying this is going to be the largest, verbatim from the spots they were running, the biggest fireworks display in the history of the world, they had to get to 850,000 individual fireworks.
Yeah, I think we would have been fine with 450,000. If I'm honest, it was so crazy. Was it cool? Yeah, I guess it was cool. And I guess for a while they didn't even think it was happening. Like they didn't think that they'd be able to pull this off.
You guys, his speech went almost up until midnight, and I kept thinking, you got to hurry up and finish the speech because you cannot have July 5th fireworks. Like you have to at least
have fireworks. That's a good point.
And he did. He wrapped up the speech like 5 minutes before and the fireworks started. And so it's funny you talked about how it was too long because Kate said, I said, did you stay for the whole thing? She said, we stayed for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she was like, we were just so tired because everybody had been waiting for hours, So she said, we stayed for about 20 minutes and then we started walking home. But she said we could still see and hear it the whole way home because they live close by,
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a weirdo on this. It's very possible that I'm a weirdo on this. But my take was I looked around my neighborhood and I saw various fireworks displays going off. Courtney goes, do you want to light our firework singular? We had like one extra from a couple of years ago. We pulled it out of the drawer and lit it off in the backyard. And I was like, this is nice. There's different fireworks displays going off in our neighborhood. And look up in the air. There's a couple. It looks great. Loved it. But then I watched what was happening in Washington. I was like, oh my God. That somebody says too much fun. How dare they? I don't know. I think too much of something isn't always better.
Always better.
Yeah. If you have so let's say C-Lane sits down for an all the shrimp you can eat buffet. And while C-Lane is sitting down there, they go, here's a giant plate of shrimp. It's got 400 shrimp on it.
Let's go.
At some point, he's going to be like, actually, I think this is too much, right? I think that's the territory we were approaching with the fireworks. That's where we're at.
It was a lot. I think most people, especially with the noise, and it's overstimulating. Is that what it is? It's like you don't need 40 minutes of that overstimulation. 20 minutes is good.
I hate to say this. I think it's going to make people mad. I thought there was a level of a little bit of tackiness. I thought there was you too far. It's too much. Dial it back. Be a little more artsy about it. That's what I thought. But you can let me know how wrong I was. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now.
I just think some of the other of the big, even record-breaking fireworks displays we've seen have involved places with a lot more tall buildings, and they just shoot them out the sides of them sometimes. Mm-hmm. They don't have that sort of elevation, so it's all coming from the ground, and they have to spread it out because in D.C.
So it's It's like the widest screen presentation you could ever see with fireworks just going off everywhere. And I'll tell you, I don't know what's happening to me, Amy. I started watching a lot of the clips on social media over the weekend. Flat out truth here. I admitted, everybody, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was so wrong about the drone shows. The drone shows are getting so cool. I absolutely love it. I saw a drone show, Amy. It was a gun. And then the drones were a clip that loaded into the gun. And then the gun cocked back. And then a bullet flew out of the gun. A bullet flew out of the gun. It's making me a child just thinking about what happened here.
I saw a bullet fly out of the gun.
Did you see the one where it was a character farting with drones?
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm not making this
the
up.
One they did in Japan. Did you see the one they did in Japan? It was actually pretty cool. They did like a drone where it was like a picture of the Prime Minister of Japan next to President Trump.
Yeah.
Like, it was like symbolizing their friendship or whatever. I thought that one was actually, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Like, it's pretty impressive, actually.
We had that issue with the drone show. You guys remember down at Christmas at Lake Eola, and I think, I don't know. I feel like they're still kind of working out the quirk.
Well, yeah, you're talking about where they're falling out of the sky. Look, here's what.
Yeah, that's not good.
Where did they do this?
I don't know. This might have been a jackass thing. I'm not sure. But they,
oh my gosh, I totally missed that. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Red, white, and blue, though, coming out of the fart. There were so many things. I saw one. This was not as gross as that, Amy, a little more professional. In Boston, they did a huge ship. And then they did like boxes of tea for like the Boston Tea Party. And then the boxes were like flying off of the ship into the water. Like it's animation now. It's so crazy.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And it's not as loud and it's like doesn't scare the dogs, right? All the poor dogs.
Right. Yeah. I still like fireworks. I like the combination of them both. I saw one where it was an eagle. And then below the eagle's wingtips, it was fireworks shooting out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Just absolutely wild stuff. So I have changed my mind on those for sure. I did think it was cool. It was a pretty impressive fireworks thing, but I thought it was a little bit over the top in Washington, D.C.
It was a lot. It went for a long time. I think part of the problem was just the timing of it, is that it got pushed back so late.
Mm-hmm.
By the time the fireworks went off, people were just exhausted.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I don't know how your daughter did that. She's young, though.
Night.
She's young.
Yeah, she was fine. But even at 21, she was like, okay, we were halfway through. We were like, okay, we're ready to go home.
Yeah. So she's taking on a gig in Washington, D.C., an internship now?
Yeah, she's working for a congressional office, and she's having a ball.
Tell me she doesn't want to get into actual politics, though, right?
She does not. So it's funny you say that. So doing these internships, she's done a couple. She did some at the State House in Tallahassee as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it taught her she doesn't want to be a politician, but
right.
I do think that she's fascinated by the process of
That's
lawmaking
good.
and how it works.
Nothing better to know that. That's everything that controls all the things that happen around us, for God's sake. So, yeah, I mean, look at your kids grown up, getting out in the world into positions of power in a way.
Well, I don't know how much power an intern has, but it's fun to see them go out in the world and do things that you hope turn into something someday.
I feel like Mitch McConnell's interns have a lot of power right now. I feel like probably in his case. We'll talk about that later.
In the hospital, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know, Amy. We're trying to figure out what's happening with him. We're glad you survived. Let me see your fingers. You're all good. You didn't lose any fingers. Look at that.
Yep, nope.
All right. Successful 4th of July.
Intact.
Yeah,
it was good. I'm glad you guys had fun too. I missed you. Glad you got to enjoy one extra day off.
Well, you are a fantastic, talented person. We all love you. I know everybody in chat, everybody listening to the show loves you. And we appreciate you taking extra time out of a Tuesday. We usually don't bother you on Tuesdays.
No, I love it. You guys, you don't want to know any news headlines or anything? You're good? You're like, we're done with her. We're good. We're out.
No, we could do that. It's just your microphone is a little on the...
Oh, does it sound bad still?
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, it's still you, so it sounds great. It does, but it's a little...
Next time we'll get it right. Next time we'll do an audio check before, and then
Who were we supposed to blame again? What were the names? What were the...
Oh, Volpe and Doug.
Volpe and Doug. Unbelievable Volpe and Doug.
Oh, gosh. This started out so nice to Volpe and Doug.
No, I love you, Volpe and Doug. You guys are great. You guys are great. Amy, we love you. You are the absolute best.
Guys.
Is there one major story that we should be giving more attention to?
Well, the story that we just pushed up to the top of the website is former gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum.
Yeah.
Has been arrested again. So you guys probably have already talked about it.
No. That's the guy who got arrested for a drug incident before, right?
Yes.
And now he finds himself back in trouble. Like he's got some issues, I think.
Yeah, arrested in Alabama on drug charges. It was during a traffic stop. They pulled him over. They found marijuana, 3 packages of a substance that later tested positive for meth.
Yeah, that's the thing. That seems to be what has him hooked. Yeah, that's definitely a story that's making the rounds today and getting a bunch of attention. We want you to make sure you're keeping up with everything happening in your backyard and around the world. And in my opinion, there's only one place to do that where they really do the coverage justice. They do a great job constantly. It's a place that I trust. It's Fox 35 and somebody that I trust implicitly, and that's Amy Caulfield. Let's hear it for her.
Yeah.
She's the best. She's the best.
Sorry about the audio.
No.
Next time, I promise.
No, it still sounds better than Sealand's microphone. It's
Okay,
still even better than that. There she goes. Amy Caulfield from Fox 35. We'll see you next week, Amy. There she is.
Bye.
All right. Sorry for the minor technical issues, everybody. I think there is something going wrong on the microphone side of things, but you got the gist of it. You heard her, and we got to hang out with Amy a little bit. We're going to continue on with the show in just a moment, and we'll also see what you have to say because your feedback continues to roll in. Now, I want to tell people, if you want to be anonymous, this is a show where you could do that. On your emails, you could be anonymous, or even when you send a dispatch in, you can be anonymous as well. You just hit the little slider there that anonymizes your dispatches. You know, people might recognize you, but mostly your voice will be a little bit distorted and they won't be able to tell who is saying it. But we'll take those today as well on a Share the Show Tuesday. All right, Celine, quick break here? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have so many things to get into, but I think we'll start out with a pick a side. We got a pick a side that I think is worthy of pushing into this segment here, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI predicts trends. We create moments. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
On the major roadways this afternoon, you won't be expecting too much trouble. There is debris on the roadway eastbound on I-4 near Saxon. Getting cleared up. Look out for road rangers and construction. Slowing things down between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. Expect crews near the roadways there. There's a crash on John Young Parkway northbound at Central Florida Parkway off to the shoulder getting cleared up. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Boating restricted zones keep Florida's waterways safe. In idle speed, no wake zones go just fast enough to steer with no wake. In slow speed, minimum wake zones, stay off plane and create little to no wake, but always stay fully settled in the water. Learn more at myfwc.com.
Quick note, everybody. I'm just checking. 91 degrees. 91 degrees right now. High of 94 today. Your air conditioner, it is certainly working hard. It is working very, very, very hard. And it might be coming up a little bit short. So if you're doing that thing where you put your hand by the vent and you say, something doesn't seem right, don't panic. Just call Mills Air. They are a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. They can 100% help you out, get you back up and running. And you say, well, I got a different kind of air conditioning setup. They've seen it all. They've seen it all. They've fixed it all. They've done it all. And we want to make sure that you are in good hands when you have a problem with your AC. So go to millsair.com. Learn about all of the stuff that you can on the website, all the different ways they can help you. Get one of the techs sent out incredibly fast over to your house to get you fixed up and running. And if you want to get preventative maintenance, that could help you in the long run. That can help you before the problem happens. So here's how you get all that done with Mills Air. 407-277-1159. That's right. It's 407-277-1159 or find them online at millsair.com. Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Hellfire says, I'm also a Day One Secret Show subscriber. Some of those early shows were so painfully bad, I'm just appreciative that you've stuck around. So painfully, embarrassingly bad. But thank you for sticking around. Sorry about Amy K's microphone. It's not her fault. You know, it's still nice to get some Amy K into your day. We'll get that all fixed up for next week. How you doing, everybody? How are you doing? YouTube, TNJ chat, Twitch, I see you. Some extra special K? Yeah, basically today. T-Lane's camera's off the radar. We gotta pick your side, or pick a side. But honestly, I think it might have to wait until after the next couple segments, because I got something I want to talk about here.
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at FizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Orlando, let's rock the vote.
How were the parks yesterday? Oh my God. We went to Epcot yesterday, did a little eating around the world, went on some rides. Epcot was one of the lightest crowds I've seen in a very, very long time. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. T. McAllister says he's melting today. Well, hang in there, buddy. We saw these young girls when we were online to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is probably my favorite ride. We're in line. We hadn't gone on that ride in maybe 4 months, 5 months or something. And these young girls in front of us, they asked this weird guy, he's got like a walking stick with an American flag on it, kind of weird looking guy. And they were like, is this ride scary? And they did that thing, I'm sure some of you ladies have done this before, where you ask a question to a random man, and then you realize the moment the question ends, you're like, this was a bad idea. These girls were probably like 19 years old, 20 years old, and they're like, is this a fun ride or a scary ride? And the guy's like, ugh, and he wouldn't stop yapping to these young girls. You just see it in their eyes, they're like, oh my God. Why do we start talking to him? Why? Do you wear a neck fan at Disney? No. I'm an American who's used to the summer. I've spent my life dealing with summer. I don't need a neck fan to exist. We're spoiled, rotten humans. Everything is so good and we complain about things. We're going to start evolving into more sensitive creatures because of this stuff, in my opinion. I think we're going to be way more sensitive than we used to be because of these exact issues. I think that it's a scourge on Earth. These people who can't make it through a hot day without a fan around their neck, okay? If you don't have an AC in your house, get all the fans in the world. But if you're going to a theme park for the day and you need a fan, come on. Neck fans work if there's no wind? Of course they work. Obviously they work. But we're human beings. We've been built to be resilient and deal with all these things. But now we've become soft. And a level of creature comforts is great. But I think that the AC around the neck, the little fans that you wear, I think it's too far. I don't think you need them. Buck up, it's summer. Some of them are nice though. All right, here we go. We're coming back, everybody. Stand by.
getting that heart scan and also the cancer screening. Both of them are super important. I'm so glad that I did it. Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds.
The World Cup is underway and it's been incredible. On our podcast, The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, we're talking about the games that have delighted us, the teams that have inspired us, and what surprised us, all through the lens of being massive fans of the world's most beautiful game.
Daniel, I can hardly believe the drama that the group stage brought us, but now it's time to talk about the teams that are left as the tournament reaches its crescendo and decides the next World Cup champion.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, and listen now.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the...
Share the Show Tuesday. Now, I do have a pick a side that I want to get to, and we will work that into the show. I got an amazing clip where I want you to pick a side and tell me who is wrong, but we might have to push that over the top of the hour. I hate to do that, but we're probably going to push that until right at the top of the hour for those of you who get the full show. I did want to share a couple of things with you. One thing that went viral this weekend, whenever I see this, I don't know if I'm like the last person who sees these stories and goes, "What? Why is this a thing?" But there was this story about this dad who's gone viral for his Chick-fil-A order of all things. This was on...
Oh, I saw this, dude.
Did you? Yeah, this was everywhere. This was on USA Today was the spot where I clocked this morning. Then it says, Dad's viral Chick-fil-A menu order can feed 5 for just $45. And I thought, at the root of this, there is an actual issue, all right? At the root of this, there's an actual issue. And that issue is people still don't know how to shop in a smart way. Like, if you're amazed that you can go to Chick-fil-A and feed 5 people for $45, you can feed people for pretty cheap if you want to. You know, this is a possible thing. It's not even that hard for you to do. Where are you, Celia? I don't see you on any. Did you lose your camera or something?
Did it go?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So what's happening here? He's not with me anymore.
I'm here. You just don't have me on that screen. Oh, we go.
Yeah, there he is. Thank God. I can't not see you now. I'm too used to just staring at you. But when I
miss
see
you
stories
too,
like
bud.
this, they're like, this father has broken the mold. He's shown you how amazing you could be. He figured out how to feed his family of 5 for just $45 at Chick-fil-A. Wait until you hear how cheap you could feed your family for if you just make something at home. Wait till you hear how cheap sandwiches are for the whole family. Right?
So I saw the headline I saw must not have had the $45 price tag on it, because it said something more like you can feed a family of 5 for prices that seem like they're back from 2005, 2010, something like that. And I didn't watch the video. I read what the hack was, and it seemed really, really bunk. Like really, really kind of like if the kids are looking up at dad like, this is our dinner? Like, this is our chicken sandwich?
This is sad. Hang on. Let me see. Here's the guy. I don't think he's going to curse on us because he's a pastor. Unless he does. He's a wild pastor, maybe. Let's listen in. Here's the hack that I think is really overrated.
Okay, here's the thing. We're at Chick-fil-A. I have a hack for every dad who is always thinking, why are we spending so much money at Chick-fil-A? Kids are annoyed. Love it. Okay, here's the deal.
Because maybe they don't think it's a great dinner.
Everybody orders.
Yeah, they're like, I'm glad you're so excited about this, but this sucks. If you want to feed a family of 5, go get some pizza for the $9.99 large deals that they have if you go pick up the pizza. Go get something and build a great lunch or dinner at home. Like, find all the BOGO deals that are out there. Like, you could feed a family of 5 for relatively cheap if you're smart about things. It's just sometimes people will be like, well, what I want to get is I want to get Hillstone, and I want to get it for everybody, and I want to get appetizers, and I want to get it DoorDash, because obviously I'm not going to that location that's so far away. And then,
but I think
then they'll go, feeding my family of 5 now costs $360.
I think part of it though is I saw the hack as not, hey, here's a cheap way to feed a family of 5. I saw it as, here's a cheap way to get all your family of 5 dinner at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Well, the way they did it didn't make the kids too happy. Is that the overall vibe on this thing?
So it's what I'm seeing in the video there. Look at he looks over at the kids, and they're like, eh.
Their fried chicken sandwich in their meal. Here's what we just did and what we have been doing, and y'all need to know about this.
All right.
We order, look at that. How many nuggets? 30. We order 30 nuggets. And you know how much 30 nuggets is on this? Let's see here. 30 nuggets. $17. $17. And the buns, then they each get, each one gets just a bun, just a buttered bun.
Oh, come on.
Sandwich. They each get the buttered bun for 75 cents.
Bro, you're turning your family into a spectacle. Just be smart. Now we're showing up and we're buying a box of nugs, and then you just get the buns, and then you assemble a little Franken sandwich, and your kids are like piecing together. You make it like an art project with your kids. You know what your kids are thinking? Bootsy's right, as per usual. That's embarrassing. Your kids are like, oh God, we're doing DIY sandwiches inside the Chick-fil-A again. Oh God, what are we doing here?
For 25 cents each. So for 75 cents, we get the buns. Then everybody eats.
They don't need to say
for $20. Every kid gets a chicken salad or fried chicken sandwich. Look at that. Fill it up.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. It's just like a regular chicken sandwich. But
well, how did we get to $45 then? Because I'm seeing $17.35 for the 30-piece nugs, $3.75 for the 5 buttered buns. That's $21.10. How did we get further down the line to incorporate $45?
Maybe we got fries for everybody. It's like Florida Scratcher says, just don't go to Chick-fil-A. Then, well, you got to know Chick-fil-A is a little more expensive. Like, there's also things like Five Guys. Five Guys is a premium option, right? It's more expensive when you go to Five Guys. So don't go there unless you want the burgers and the fries to be much more expensive. But maybe you think it's better. Maybe you think it's worth it. The thing that happens right now, and it was so many people, not just young people. This is not something where you just yell at Gen Z and blame it on them. That is just not fair and accurate. It is not just Gen Z. It's not just millennials. It's literally everybody who now goes, oh, God, it's quite expensive out there. And you say, yep, it is. Yeah, inflation sucks. It sucks that some of these things got so expensive. And they go, I can't feed a family of 5 for under $100 at a fast food place. And you go, oh, yes, you can. Or they go, I've figured out a way to do it for $45, and all we have to do is embarrass the whole family. It's like, no, you have to be smart. You have to go to places that have good deals. You have to utilize the deals. You have to not waste money on things that are a waste of money. Like, it's not that hard. But if I'm telling you, if this was my family, my dad brought me to this place, and we have to do a Franken meal, and we're like piecing together our meals, and we're ordering buns and putting the Chick-fil-A nugs on top, I would be embarrassed. And not like in a, well, Dad's doing the right thing, but this, I'd be like, this is so, can we at least take it home? Yeah, can we at least take it home? Waterboy says, I'm feeling this is mostly rage bait. I don't think so. I don't think this is in particular, but it did get a lot of views, and people were like, he said, share it, save money, you're welcome. Sincerely, Budget Dad. My mom did this in the 1990s. There was no 3 Happy Meals. It was 3 $1 burgers, a large fry, and a large drink to share. Actually, scrap that no drink because we have milk at home. To this day, I rarely drink anything but water. This person's like, wow. You value maxed your life, but are you really living better? That's my question, right? Like, so you go, I have found the solution. I only drink water all the time. And I save so much money. You're like, wow, but at what cost? Don't you want a margarita every once in a while? Don't you deserve a shot of bourbon once in a blue moon? And not just alcohol, too, other things for sure. Somebody says, or just feed them the buns and they'll all eat for under $2. Just, if you really want to go cheap. You can also just get ketchup and make a little soup out of it and then think of all the money. On one hand, it feels like all our dreams are coming true with all these views. On the other hand, let me know when you get a cease and desist letter from Chick-fil-A, says somebody else. You missed another hack that my son and I just discovered. A gallon of sweet tea is under $8 instead of $3 per drink. Oh, God. I mean, I just don't think it's this difficult. Like, I know some people out there. The problem is people who make content like this aren't poor. Poor people know how to actually make your dollar stretch. These people aren't actually poor. They're trying to like poor max or value max.
I think the sweet tea thing is not terrible on account of, all right, it is very tacky and in poor taste to bring your own food to a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong to bring your own cups? As long as you're not using the cups to steal product from the dispenser.
As long as you're not stealing anything, I think that's fine.
Bringing your own cups, not that big a deal. So if you buy the gallon of sweet tea, that's a decent hack. It's better than making chicken sandwiches out of nuggets and bread, which I know that there's been other hacks like this for food. Chipotle is one of the ones that stands out, where people used to have all these great Chipotle hacks, and then Chipotle got privy to them and shut them all down.
Of course they did.
You know, but I mean, this one is just like some of the others were saying. If I were that kid, I would have wished that we had gone through the drive-thru.
Yes, of course. I would have wished we'd gone through the drive-thru. I wish my parents posted online. I would have wished a lot of things. But what I don't think is that these people are genuinely poor, because I'm telling you, all the poor people that I've met in my entire life, and I grew up lower middle class. I'm not saying that I grew up poor. I grew up lower middle class. That's where my family was throughout the majority of my life.
John was a poor.
I'm not saying I was poor. Like, I wasn't like, I wasn't the poorest of the poor. We always had food on the table and stuff. My family did try to cut corners, and a lot of smart families do. But actual poor people, the first thing they'll tell you is you're not going to Chick-fil-A. You don't go to Chick-fil-A if you're really trying to stretch your dollar. They'll tell you the ways to do this. They'll tell you the ways to get a whole bunch more. And not these things that I see sometimes where I'm like, congratulations, you won? But at what cost? It's not even worth it here, I don't think. But let us know what you think. I really think if you got a big family, the best option for you not cooking the food is often to go to a pizza place, find like the $9.99 thing. That's what my family always did. It still remains a good deal. Couple large pizzas can feed a crazy amount of kids, and it's not that much money, I think. Apparently, people have different definitions of lower middle class. What does that mean? I mean, I lived in a single income house. My mother, for the most part of my life, did not work until I was 16, 17, 18 years old. So almost all of my life, my mom didn't work. She just took care of us. So we had lived in a single income house. And my dad, for most of my life, was making about $40,000, $50,000. When he finally retired, I think the peak he made at IBM was $70 or $68 or so $1,000. That's single income house. And around that time, I'm pretty sure that would really solidly put us in lower middle class. We had a house that we had to help build ourselves to keep things as cheap as possible. I'm not saying we were poor, because we weren't poor. We had enough money to do stuff, but we got smart. I'm sure many of you got smart, but this stuff I don't think makes much sense to me. Give us your thoughts. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. That is very viral, but is it actually a good idea is the question. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got the hot sheet. After that, we are going to do pick a side. I've got this old lady freaking out, but is she in the right? We're going to decide together, and we will all pick a side. All of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather
Theme of the week is we'll see Heat.
There we go. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. That's my fault. That's my beat. All right, hang on. Courtney forgot the grocery list, so I got to get a photo of that. I'll be right back. Stand by.
$55 a month for speed up to 1 gig. Find out more at quantumfiber.com. Seriously, grab this special deal now. Limited availability in select areas.
Hey Orlando, why settle for one dealership when you can shop 3? Greenway Kia's 3 Central Florida locations give you access to 3 times the inventory. Shop over 1,200 new Kias, all priced clearly online at greenwaykias.com. Plus, when you trade with us, over 40 Greenway dealerships bid on your vehicle.
Okay, I'm back. Single income household, and my dad was paid $3 an hour when we first moved to Florida. What year was this? $3 an hour? Let's see. All right, when I was a kid, it was, let's say, 1990. Hello, friend. We meet again.
If there's something on your mind or something you want to dive into, I'm all ears. What are we chatting about today?
What was the average family income, average household income in Florida in 1990?
In 1990, the average household income in Florida was around $29,000 to $30,000 a year. Keep in mind that's in $1990, so it would feel like a larger amount if adjusted for today's inflation.
$29,000 to $30,000 at the time. Would that put you in middle or lower middle class? Where would that put you?
In 1990, that would have generally placed a household in the lower middle to middle range. The median household income nationwide was around $30,000 to $30,000.
So that's about the lowest end what my dad made when we first moved here. Actually, a little less than that when we first moved to Florida. And you said, boom, told you? What do you mean, told you? That's literally what my father made when we first moved to Florida. Made less than that. Then when I was a child, he started getting up because he went back and got his master's degree. When I was 13 or 14, he started making up into like the 40s and then topped out at IBM when I was a full-ass adult at $68,000, all right? So single family household in the majority of my life from when I was 6 or 7 years old to when I was 14 years old, he was making about $30,000 to $35,000 at IBM at that time. So that was middle to lower middle class. And that was the only income coming in at that time. I don't think you're making the point that you think you're making. In the 1970s, the median income in Detroit was roughly $10,000 to $11,500. My parents made it happen. My parents were so thrifty. That's my point overall. Like, if people are legitimately poor, they know how to take their dollar and stretch it as much as they can. They know strategically what's the best bet and what's the best deal. They know you can go buy things like pasta and pasta sauce and look for BOGO deals wherever you go. Try to find whatever is on the best sale at that time. Make sure you stack ingredients so that you can make things with things that you've purchased, all the key stuff. Like, they just get smart about it. They don't go, we're going to buy a massive container of nugs from Chick-fil-A. That's stupid. My dad was $20 an hour as a maintenance tech in the 1990s. Nice. I don't think you understand lower middle class. I'm sorry, are you just trying to be obtuse? Or are you I can't tell if you're serious. Are you trying to be obtuse? What's the point that you're trying to make? You don't know, Sean. Thank you, Stony Baloney. 26-month subscriber to Secret Shows. Thank you, Stony Baloney. Appreciate you.
Tap the Highlights tab to catch up on anything you missed. Lock in your preset now.
This summer on iHeartRadio, win a trip to see Bryan Adams roll with the Punches Tour live in Milwaukee, August 16th.
Hey, this is Bryan Adams inviting you to come and see me live in concert.
Round trip air for two with hotel and more. Prize provided by Bryan Adams.
It's VIP with Q&A, an autographed album, merch, and all that good stuff.
Tap the contest tab while you're listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app for your chance to win.
So roll with the punches on the iHeartRadio app to enter.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2000.
And I can tell it from a mile away. Some of you. We'll get to this in a moment. Also, the hot sheet on the way. Learn more over at thenewsjunkie.com. All I'm saying is, when you see something like that Chick-fil-A thing go viral, and the dad's like, this hack allowed me to feed my family of 5 for $45 at Chick-fil-A, all that comes to mind to me is this person has never been poor. And I was only legit poor for a small portion of my life, like legit poor. Like I was incredibly poor from when Dylan was born to like 23 or 24 or so. I did not live with my parents. I wasn't getting financial assistance from my parents.
Wait, all right, just to be fair here and to be clear, from when Dylan was born to when you were 23 or 24.
Oh, that sounds like, because he's 25 now. It sounds like
you just stopped getting poor? I know that's not true.
Sounds like it just ended. No. No, for like probably 3 or 4 years, like really bad. You know, that was around the time where I've told you guys all the stories of everything I've ever done wrong, including the time I had so little money that I tried to steal a sandwich from Publix, from the deli, and I got caught. Incredibly embarrassing. I just literally didn't have money to eat. I was really, 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 really poor during that time. But growing up, I stand by, even though some of you are weirdos about this. I grew up very much lower middle class. If you want to be generous, you could say middle class. My father was making not that much money when we first moved to Florida, and he was the only one making money in the household. So I remember how we lived. And I remember even in that position financially, we never really wanted for anything. Everything seemed fine. The only thing that was shocking was when I would go over a friend's house. If I went to a friend's house and they lived in like the fancy neighborhood, they had a big giant house and stuff, I would say, oh, wow, why don't we have some of this stuff? But generally speaking, I didn't notice those things, and it wasn't a big issue. But it's clear when somebody's never been poor before, when they start giving advice like that about how to save money and how to stretch your dollar and how to feed your family, when most of the people who are legit poor will say, hey, the way to feed your family is to buy things like pasta and pasta sauce, the cheapest stuff you can get, you know, like cooking at home, making big meals that not only can you feed your whole family with, but then you could stretch into leftovers for a couple of days. It takes work, you know, it takes a little bit extra effort. Those are the ways to do it. Not buying a massive box of nugs and then buying just the buns for your Chick-fil-A burgers and having your kids assemble some Frankenburger to save cash. I don't think that's the way to do it. But, you know, you do you. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the hot sheets.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigative reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet.
Yeah.
With C-Lane.
That's right. It's the top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And we start with sad news from over the weekend. One of the singers of this song right here.
Oh, LMFAO?
LMFAO, but it wasn't, I don't think she was Party Rock Anthem is the song. And I don't think she was a member of LMFAO. I think she was just like a guest on the song, the female voice that you hear singing Party Rock Anthem. Lauren Bennett, best known for that smash hit, and also being a member of the group Paradiso Girls and GRL, died at the age of 37. Her fellow GRL members announced her death on Instagram, releasing a joint statement saying, "Our hearts are broken. We cannot begin to express how much she meant to us. A cause of death has not been given. It's under investigation, and the coroner is involved, but they think maybe because it's overseas or something that they won't have a definitive answer maybe for it could be a couple weeks."
Am I crazy? I don't even remember there being a female voice in that song. Yeah. That's that lady?
No, I think she was one of the...
I remember party rockers in the house tonight. Yeah, but that's a dude, right?
I thought there was more than one person singing that line.
I
don't know. I'd have to go through and look at it, but it wasn't a name that I had heard before. But Lauren Bennett, dead at the age of 37, and her death still under investigation. Super young for somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, over to another quite controversial figure, but a movie has been announced. A lot of people talking about this today. The actress, if you could call her that, Tilly Norwood. Are you familiar with Tilly?
Oh, I did see this. Yeah.
The company behind the AI actor, in quotes, Tilly Norwood, announced Monday it's working on a full-length film starring its controversial creation, which a major actors union has blasted as devaluing human artistry. Tilly was made by the AI company Particle 6 Productions, which is led by comedian and writer Aline van der Velden. The feature film will be a comedy drama called Misaligned, and it will star Tilly Norwood in a hybrid production with traditional film and TV professionals. If she's starring in this thing, are you, as an actor, as like a real flesh and bones actor, excited to get a role alongside her? Seems kind of cheap and crappy if you're the person that has to be second fiddle to the not person. And also, what are the other actors saying about you if you sign on to do something like this?
I would think that Hollywood would really reject other actors and actresses who worked with this AI person.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things happening. I texted you and Josh about this over the weekend. When we watched Obsession, I noticed that there was a note at the end of the credits that said like something like all rights reserved with this and this and this. This is not to be used to train AI. Like, it is forbidden to use this movie to train AI.
Uh-huh.
And I guess there's a couple newer movies where not only has that message been showing up, but they've also, like, claimed in the credits, like, just put in the credits that there was no generative AI used in any portion of this movie.
Yeah.
Which I find kind of interesting that they're throwing it out there now. And then on the other completely opposite end of this, they've got the comedy drama Misaligned, a hybrid production with traditional film and TV professionals such as directors, writers, and editors, working alongside AI specialists with AI training and mentorship built into the production itself. It's so funny because they still talk about this fake-ass actress as a person. It says, Tilly Norwood has come under fire from Hollywood, including SAG-AFTRA, the union, which blasted the studio for using stolen performances to put actors out of work, jeopardizing performer livelihoods and devaluing human artistry. I wonder how many eyes are going to be on this AI movie.
I just wonder who the hell's going to watch that. Is there a single person who's like, yeah, the AI movie? Oh, I'm definitely going to watch that.
Doesn't sound interesting at all. Among the many reports that are kind of coming out of this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding, I feel bad for Travis. Everybody keeps calling it the Taylor Swift wedding. Like, give the guy a little bit of credit. Little bit. But among the things that were reported about the very highly guarded event was that Paul McCartney, aside from being just a part of the festivities, performed the Beatles' hit I Want to Hold Your Hand for the first time in 60 years at the wedding as part of the star-studded reception at Madison Square Garden on Friday. The track was the Beatles' first American #1 hit, sparking Beatlemania and the wave of British band success that they call the British Invasion. I didn't realize he didn't sing that when I saw him.
No, I mean, did you see Blake Lively, I guess, didn't get invited to that Taylor Swift thing?
I guess. I mean,
and And my favorite part about that was they used to be friends, right? Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. And the thing I saw was like, there was thousands of people invited to this wedding, allegedly. All 3 of the Good Morning America anchors got invited to this wedding. Oh, really? And then you didn't get invited to this wedding? Ooh. If you were a friend of Taylor Swift's and you didn't get invited to this wedding, you get the message. The message has been sent that you are not as close as you thought you were here.
Especially when you find out Hugh Grant was there. Didn't even know that you were close with Hugh Grant, guys.
Right.
Did think it's kind of cool that Adam Sandler did the ceremony, though. That sounds like a fun time. Adam Sandler, the officiant of the big wedding.
That's kind of cool.
Could have been fun, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Kim Kardashian is navigating the legal world this time, not from the lawyer side, but she says she still needs court-ordered protection from a man she claims sent her a diamond ring and Plan B, telling a judge he's as delusional, angry, and obsessed as ever. The reality star's lawyers filed to extend Kim's restraining order against Nicholas Costanza, which is set to expire tomorrow, and they say Costanza has not mellowed out in the slightest. He's tweeted her approximately 80 times over the last few years, calling himself her soulmate and claiming the two are supposed to start a family together. One of the messages he wrote said, quote, "I am not going to F your mother or sisters unless you give me permission to, Kimberly babe," end quote. Costanza, according to Kim, was arrested on charges that included stalking, possession of methamphetamines, and burglary 2 days after making those alleged posts. She's asking for more time on that. And last but not least in the hot sheet, I think the thing that nobody asked for, but the Locarno Film Festival announced that a newly restored 4K version of Kevin Costner's extended Dances with Wolves from 1990 will premiere at the festival on August 7th. Sort of like a Zack Snyder cut of Dances with Wolves. It's the full director's cut. So full that this definitive cut of Dances with Wolves, which I don't even remember to be that good of a movie.
I've heard of it, but I'm very surprised it's making a comeback.
Well, maybe watch the original one, because this one, Sean, is 4 hours long, including around 30 minutes of never-before-seen footage of the Dancing with the Wolves. The festival noting the restoration offers audiences the chance to rediscover Costner's expansive, popular masterpiece as it was originally intended to be seen by the director himself. No thanks. Sounds like a snore fest for me, but maybe you'll get into it. Hey, if you want to get into a new house, if you've been throwing your money away on rent, or you want to get from that first kind of starter house to your dream home, That Mortgage Guy Don wants to help you save money. Where? Well, your mortgage. If you get that quote and you just say, hey, I'll take the first quote that I get, not going to shop around, you're being silly with your money. You're probably leaving a bunch of it on the table, and That Mortgage Guy Don wants to review that quote with you and tell you if he can get you better numbers. You can reach out to him today at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.com.
Thank you, Steve-Lane. Quick break right here. A quick break. When we come back, we got to get to this pick a side. I've got this clip of this old lady freaking out that's going viral. We'll see who's in the right, who's in the wrong. Is it the old lady? Is it the kids who are trying to party a little bit too hard? We'll find out. We'll judge together with Pick a Side. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's never been easier to listen to Real Radio 104.1 wherever you go.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Welcome to the show. Quick note, everybody. If you're seeing any performance issues at all, the website is getting hammered right now. I don't know by what and what's going on, but I'll figure that out after the show. Got to stay focused on the content for the next 2 hours. But if you see any blips or any weird issues, that's what's going on there. The website is getting hammered with visitors at the moment.
Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale.
Okay, we got this Pick a Side coming up next.
And let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make
About Mitch being brain dead, people on Facebook are saying, so what's new? We've got to get into that still. We have to get into one of the other big dramas of the day, which is this Graham Platner situation. We have a lot to talk about. I saw somebody say, Sean,
$40,000 in 1970 is the equivalent of $300,000 in... Bro, 1970, I was negative 11 years old, just for the record. I didn't exist in 1970. In 1970, I'm not even sure if my parents had met each other yet. But my parents in Vermont were really coming from like meager circumstances. And then my dad and my mom started a cleaning business. And they would bring me in the you know, the little kid's chair. Not the stroller. What is it called? What's the thing called? You belt into the car seat? They'd bring me in like the car seat thing. They would bring me into these buildings after night. And they'd put my little cart thing, or my car seat, over in a corner. And then they would like, vacuum and clean these workplaces out. So they own like a workplace cleaning company after dark. For a while. There's a high-rise in Manhattan that's getting ready to collapse. You got a link? A couple of people are saying there's a building going to collapse. What do you mean going to collapse? How? Stand by. What building is it? There's a high-rising Manhattan building. A building in Midtown Manhattan was evacuated after fire officials say 2 columns buckled and floors were sagging. What? All right, I got a couple of things on this. If you have any good links, hit me up with them in chat, please. Just so you know, if you guys post links in chat, they come into my side and I can see them. So I'll look at this. We're back in just a couple of minutes, but hold on. Let me see what else we can find out here in the meantime. What is it about this building? Okay. Video shows 2 columns buckled. Oh, God, yeah. That doesn't look good. Some guy is inconvenienced by it. A former office tower undergoing construction in Midtown Manhattan is at risk of collapse, according to city officials. Okay, here's some construction workers speaking about it. Here's Mom Donnie talking about it. Part of a building facade is buckling. Okay, I've got a lot on this, and we'll go over it when we come back. It's under construction. Some of the beams buckled. Yeah, I've got delay going on with your comments on studio screen because everything is getting log jammed on the website. But don't fret. It's refreshing every now and then, and I'm getting new comments. I can also see it over here. Scott Jennings said he talked to Mitch McConnell.
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you.
Okay, I got that too. Thank you.
Sponsored by
When we get into Mitch McConnell, we'll bring that up. 90 seconds and we're back. Stand by. Let me open up all these links I have for this building situation. Okay, Okay. All right, here we go. Coming back right now.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
The U.S. will now have to look ahead to the next World Cup after being eliminated last night. Team USA's Tyler Adams grateful for the fan support they received during the tournament.
Support was unbelievable. I think our initial reaction as a team was that in this moment we let them down.
The U.S. is out, but the World Cup rolls on. Round of 16 action includes Colombia and Switzerland today.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little ASCII. This is the...
We got to pick a side for you, and we only have 2 hours left in the show, and there's just a lot to work through. So let's get moving here. The first thing I want to talk about, coming back from break here, is people just alerted me to this over on TNJ chat. I guess everybody's freaking out in New York City because there's a building that might collapse. And that obviously is a concern if that's true.
The picture of this beam is not great.
I just saw that. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So let's start out with some basic stuff. There's a building in Midtown Manhattan, middle of New York City, that has been evacuated after fire officials said that 2 columns on the building buckled and the floors were sagging between the 21st and the 26th floors. Several buildings nearby have also been evacuated over concerns of a potential collapse. So they literally think this building is going to collapse. Here's CBS News. Let's see what they say about this.
I've just arrived at the scene in Midtown Manhattan of a building that authorities were concerned could collapse because 2 columns
it's a big building.
Had buckled and the floors between the 21st and the 26th floor were sagging. This is the building that's right behind me. As you can see there.
All right, it's no small building. I don't know how many stories it is in total, but it's a pretty big building here in the middle of New York City.
There's a top floor there that looks like it's emptied out. It is an active construction site, so it was construction workers who were inside the building working and evacuated. But the buildings nearby, we're on 42nd Street and 2nd Avenue, were also evacuated as a precaution.
All right.
The concern would be a collapse, and as you can see, this is a major building. This is approximately 30 stories high, and the concern was between those 21st and 26th floors that seem to be sagging. Here are the crews. There's police, there's FDNY, and there's officials from the Department of Buildings.
All right, she's saying here are the crews. There are people out here. I see some emergency responders at this point whenever she posted this, but not that many. This is like they're just starting to rope stuff off here, but things have gotten worse, I think, since that. This is what C-Lane was just talking about. This is inside the building, and I guess it's in pretty rough shape. It looks like the building is going to collapse.
Sí, porque está independiente.
Oh, God. Oh, no. This is the columns that hold up the building?
Yeah.
What
One
went
of the
wrong?
beams.
It's all busted. It looks like a Jenga thing that fell down.
It says the building is topped out at 37 floors, and as more infrastructure was added to the floors above the 21st, the load-bearing columns became more stressed, according to officials.
No. So you're saying that they're doing work up top, and the work up top made the building weigh more, and the floors underneath are buckling from this new work?
It sounds like that is kind of what's happening. The steel beams have become to bend and deflect, according to Chief of Fire Department John Esposito. If the building were to give way, according to Esposito, it would not be a total collapse. It would be more of a localized collapse. So I guess it would, but they're taking people out of the hotels and out of the surrounding buildings just in case.
What goes wrong to make it so you're working on a building, though, and the thing starts buckling like this? It must have been in pretty bad shape to begin with.
Yeah.
I would have to think. I mean, this thing, you don't do work on the upper floors of this building. I mean, it's bad. The buckling is bad. I would not be in this building. I would get out of the building immediately. Like, I don't know why somebody's filming this. They're all buckled.
Wow.
Wow. You hear this guy?
Wow. Oh, wait, there's more than one buckled thing.
Yeah.
Look at all of that.
The whole floor that they're on is buckled and about to collapse. And this guy goes, oh, wow. This is quite a sight to see. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. It's really bad inside this building. I've got more on what's happening here because I guess there's some chaos. This is on the ground. All the construction workers are on the ground looking up now. This is from Pix 11. All right. On the ground, it looks fairly normal. There's just a lot of construction workers looking up at what's going on. Here's the mayor of New York City, Mamdani, talking about what he knows about this building that might fall in New York.
So at about 8 a.m., FDNY received reports that bricks were falling from a building under construction on East 42nd Street.
That's not good.
Between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. And first responders have found structural issues on the 21st floor. So this is where 2 structural columns have buckled at this time. Additionally, multiple cracks and sagging floors were found on the 21st floor. Now, luckily, there have been no injuries to report at this time.
Not yet.
All workers are accounted for. The building has been evacuated. A number of tall buildings in the area are also being evacuated at this time. A school with about 400 children has also been evacuated. And as a result of all of this, most of 42nd Street and 43rd Street between 1st and 3rd Avenues have been shut down to pedestrians and to vehicles. And all of this is a reflection of the fact that our top priority right now is the safety of those who live in this area, the safety of those who work in this area. And DOB inspectors and engineers are on site working quickly to secure the site as well as that surrounding area.
DOB, Department of Buildings? What is that? DOB inspectors, they're saying, are on the site.
It would have
Is
to
that
be
it?
Department of Building Department. I don't see what else.
DOB is what he said. The inspectors are on site. Here's one of the construction workers. Let's see what the construction workers are saying.
We're steam fitters, local 638. We're doing the fire protection in this building. And what happened here was this building was renovated, and they were going to add another 16 stories to it. But at
Did you say 16 stories they were going to add? I didn't even know you could do this. So they built the building. It's 30-something stories, and they want to build higher?
Build more building on top.
They just put more building on top.
It is Jenga.
Yeah, they're literally doing Jenga, and it's not working.
You need to add more steel, and they obviously didn't add the right amount of steel. So the north side of that building is crumbling. The I-beams are bending like cigarettes in there, which is super dangerous. So
bending like cigarettes.
Evacuate everyone on the north side of 43rd Street. So, you know, we're union steam fitters. The union iron workers went after this job. They lost it pretty much off profit is what they're looking to do. The contractor that's over here.
Oh, this guy's okay. So this guy's like, where the union workers? These folks came in here fly by night cheapos, and the beams are folding like cigarette butts. It's like, oh, okay. So I see what he's doing out there. He's saying we knew this was going to be unsafe. They didn't accept our bid to fix this, and now look at what's happening here. They said this is a very New York moment. This guy on the street is annoyed. He's annoyed by what's happening.
I went to go buy the paper, you know. Here we go. It's you know, a real snafu, but what are you going to do?
Oh, my gosh, man. What?
I want to go get the paper, see? And he says, a whole snap.
If I look at this guy's like dating profile, am I going to find that one of his pastimes is participating in open mic comedy night?
Maybe.
You know, it's a real snafu.
A situation. What does snafu stand for again? Situation not. And then F word is involved in there somewhere.
Wait, are you telling me snafu stands for something?
Yeah, as far as I thought. Yeah, I thought snafu was like situation not something F-U. I forgot.
This says situation normal all effed up.
Yeah, situation normal. That doesn't make any sense, though.
No.
I've just heard that over the years.
Paper, you know, here we go. It's, you know, a real snafu, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I got a real snafu, but what are you going to do? This guy says. All right, he's worried, but he's more worried about the snafu than the building falling down. Those columns, though, are just crazy. So we're going to watch this. We'll see what's happening. Hopefully a building doesn't fall in New York City. You don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. We don't want that, for God's sake. We want to make sure things are safe and secure out there. But we have to make room. It's time for Pick a Side, C-Lane.
All right.
And the Pick a Side that I have for you today is a woman who called 911. She says she's in the right. All right? Somebody says FUBAR. Yeah, FUBAR is effed up beyond all repair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Snafu.
Which I saw somebody manage to get on their actual license plate. And I go, that's not something that I would want to just broadcast to people at all times.
That's true. So this woman calls 911. She says she's in the right. She says her neighbors are just obnoxious, unbelievable, and she's in the right. Her neighbors are like, this lady is crazy. She came inside of our house and started busting our stuff down. She's an older lady, though. So let's walk through this. Here's the police body cam of the incident. Let's see what we can learn.
Why were you here?
Because they're provoking me. That's why.
What does that mean? What does provoking mean? Hold on. Whoa.
They want to make me the bad guy.
I'm talking to you, and you are not free to leave, okay? So you can't walk away from me when I'm trying to investigate if a crime occurred.
My house,
no,
please.
we are here right now. So you chose to walk over here. Mm-hmm. I am now addressing you out here, okay?
Okay, fine.
So can you tell me what happened right now?
Yes. Last Sunday, between 4:30 and 5:30, they were making this obnoxious noise.
All right.
As you can see, my deck is straight earshot.
Where do you live?
I live right there.
What number? What house
56.
number? So 56, and they live over here, so a couple hundred feet away?
I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
I haven't measured, officer. I don't know. They're not in like an apartment building together or anything. They're just kind of in houses that are close to one another. So you don't have as many loud noise complaints going on there, but that's what's happening. So we'll see if this lady's in the right or the other people on Pick a Side.
So what happened on Sunday?
I came over and told them that there were some rules in the association about making that noise. They said, you're new here. You don't know what you're talking about. We've been here 30 years. Basically, they could do whatever they wanted. They continued.
Okay.
The old I was here first defense.
Even with my windows closed, I could hear that obnoxious machine.
Sure.
Okay?
And this is all on Sunday.
Sunday night.
Okay.
She said obnoxious machine. I don't know what they're talking about. But what is that?
She keeps calling it that noise. They're making that noise or this noise. And then, but she's not saying music.
No, but maybe that's on purpose. Maybe she's doing the old person thing of like, you call this music? I don't know what that machine is, but that's really, really
or
gross.
Maybe they've got some sort of loud machine doing work for them. Or
it could be. Cat BH says she's in the wrong. I already can't stand her. Well, what has she done so far? All you people are already saying that you've already picked the side against her. You don't know.
Right. Dinner time, can't be out on the deck.
Okay.
Continued all day Monday, even as late as 7 o'clock.
Ooh, 7 o'clock.
Part of the day Tuesday. On Tuesday, we had a board meeting. I spoke to the president of our board.
Yeah.
Told him about this.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, what could I do on a Sunday evening like that? He said, call the police. Well, that was not something I wanted to do. Okay? So when they started up again Sunday at 5, now does that sound like they were intentionally trying to aggravate me? I think so. I came over to talk to her. She wouldn't turn off the machine.
Let's slow down. So what do you mean when you came over, you talked
She
to her?
keeps saying the machine. What is the machine? Is it a karaoke machine?
That could be, but why wouldn't you just say speakers?
Yeah.
Music, sounds, microphones. Unless there is some sort of like really old gas-powered dot matrix printer or something that's just out there.
Yeah. It could be. Maybe we'll learn more.
She was on her deck,
Okay.
making noise.
Where did you go?
On this side of the deck fence.
Okay.
All right.
I said, can you turn that off? Can
Well,
I
hold
talk
on.
to you?
Did you go inside her house?
No, not at that point. I was
Okay.
trying to talk to
So
her.
you were talking essentially outside where we were originally.
Correct.
She
Okay,
did
now
at
what
some
happened?
point, huh?
After
She
that.
wouldn't turn off the machine.
Okay.
She completely ignored me, pretended I wasn't
Officer,
there.
why aren't you asking what the machine is, man?
Yeah,
Unless you already
again.
know.
Again, it's just the machine.
I went onto the deck. I tried to grab the machine.
The
What do you mean
machine.
you went onto the deck? How did you get into the deck?
There's an opening right in front of those.
So there's a door to the unit?
No. There's. How you ask your companion how he got on the deck. There's a gate in front of the door to the house. Okay? There's a gate onto the deck. I went onto the deck. I tried to grab the machine to get her to stop and listen to me. She started yelling, "Don't touch me,
Admitting
don't
to a
touch me."
crime.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, this old lady, she was mad at her neighbor because the neighbor was too loud. And we're doing a pick a side here with her. But already, Sealand, I think you just nailed it right there. She's going onto somebody else's property and touching their stuff. You can't do that.
I think that the cop is leading the questioning in that direction as well. Not in a bad way. It sounds like he's saying, so you opened a door to get up there?
Right.
No, it was a gate. It's in front of a door, but
she's admitting to stuff.
now
though,
she's like,
here.
saying she grabbed the machine. That's not her machine.
And what is this machine?
The dog was barking at the door. The inside door was open. I knock, knock, knock. There was somebody sitting in there. She saw me. I knock, knock, knock again.
Knock, knock, knock.
She ignored me. I opened the door. I don't remember if I walked in. I said, "Can I talk to you?" Something like that. And then she started screaming at me. So I came out and I called you folks. And I went over there to tell them.
Oh,
I'm so upset. I went over there to tell them that the president of the association told me I should call the police, and I did not want to do that. Okay? That's why I went over there.
Just so you know, she's about to get arrested here. All right. So things are going to fire up a little bit more.
But here we are anyway.
When you're grabbing the leaf blower,
Leaf blower.
Is that the machine, the leaf blower?
Yes.
We literally just talked about something like this, Elaine, where we said somebody was mowing the lawn in the middle of the night because it was too hot otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. It was a Florida story where the neighbor came out and she fired her pistol at the ground to try and tell this guy, like, to scare him out of doing his lawn at 8 p.m.
So I guess the machine is a leaf blower.
The leaf blower, did you
I
grab
have
her
no
arm?
idea. I was so annoyed and aggravated.
So you were grabbing something.
I was trying to get her
Do you
to
remember
stop
if
and
you
listen.
grabbed anything, though? Like, did you physically hang on to
I
something?
touched something. I didn't.
So you did grasp at something, is what you're saying. You
I
grabbed something.
tried to. I don't think I actually grabbed anything.
Okay.
No.
Do you remember grabbing her arm at all
do
to
not.
prevent her from trying to blow the leaf blower?
She was pointing it at me, so I may have done that. She was starting to point it at me.
Well, there is a mark on her arm.
Okay, then I guess I grabbed
So you
her
grabbed her arm. Okay.
with my
The
broken
big
finger.
issue we have here is, number one, why would you go into somebody's home and confront them like that? And number
because I
two,
wasn't thinking straight.
and number
okay?
two, do you think it is all right to grab somebody in their own home on her deck like that?
As I said, I wasn't thinking straight.
Oh, I want to tell you something. Remember, she's the one who called the cops.
Yeah.
So, this lady called the cops and said, fix it, make them stop with the machine. Guess what? She called the cops. I think those same cops are taking her ass away in just a moment.
I'm just asking, do you think that's okay?
I think if somebody's ignoring me,
No. Do you think it's
I
okay?
did not go over there with the intention of grabbing her.
But you came over there
Doesn't
to
matter.
confront her about the leaf
No,
blowing.
I
You didn't.
I went over to tell them I didn't want to call the police.
Okay. And then what happened? But you said after
wouldn't
she
even
ignored you.
stop and listen to me.
But then you went onto her deck, onto her private
Yes,
property.
I did.
So does that make that okay? Where are we going?
No, I
Where are we
need a
going?
drink of water.
We aren't going anywhere. I'm stopping to talk to you, and I said you cannot leave because we are past the point here right now.
I confess. I went up on her deck. I tried to grab something to get her to stop.
This lady needs a lawyer. What are you doing? You're literally saying, I confess to the police officer. Why are you saying this?
Noise and listen to me. If I grabbed her arm,
I don't think she
grabbed
thinks
her
she's
arm.
getting in the
You
car.
can't do that.
No.
Okay, I can't do it.
You absolutely cannot do that.
Fine, I agree. I can't do it.
Absolutely. Do you have your driver's license on you?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm going to need your basic information. Okay?
She's laughing now.
95? Let me get her info first, okay?
She's
I
so
did have a
mad.
conversation. Not right now. How do you spell your last name? After talking to her, she did admit to going onto her property and attempting to stop her. She did say that she grabbed onto something.
She said, "I
And she did
confess."
acknowledge that she also entered her property without that consent. So
Are they gonna
you
cuff
do
her?
understand that you can't do that regardless, right? Okay, so you committed a battery, okay? And criminal trespass. So you cannot grab somebody.
Okay, fine.
And you
I
can't
got
touch
it.
anybody.
I got it.
You do got that, okay. Turn your hands behind your back. You are under arrest,
they're
okay?
getting her.
We are past this point, ma'am, okay?
Well, they must be loving this.
Okay.
Well,
Let's walk over here.
just a moment. My husband
Where,
has,
is he home? Okay, is he home?
he is home.
All right, they're bleeping some stuff out. And
You won't be gone very long regardless, because you're going to have to come back. You're not being held in jail, okay? You're going to get your charges, your documentation, and then you're going to go to your court date.
All right, now I stop and ask you here, pick a side. Who is in the wrong? People running the leaf blower, the neighbors, she just snaps and she says, stop with the leaf blower already. That side, you pick the leaf blower people, or do you pick the old lady? Is she right because they're being obnoxious? Or who's in the right here? That's what I want you to pick. That's what pick a side is all about. The lady who called the cops or the people who are running the leaf blower. We'll hear from you right now with your comments. All right. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get all caught up on things. We got jury duty on the way. We got to talk about Mitch McConnell. Is he alive? Is he dead? We got this Graham Platner stuff. I got mystery space balls that washed up in Australia and all of that. Baseball is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome behind the scenes. Stand by. Skull mic is activated. That's why you can hear the sound of my voice. On this Tuesday, July 7th. I'm telling you that it's Tuesday because I'm getting ready for Sunday Learn at the end of the show. But we've got so much more to fit in before then. What do we think? Who was in the wrong? The lady or the neighbors with the leaf blower? That lady is wrong, wrong, wrong. Haul her ass to jail and let her spend the night. Let's see if she does it again. This is pretty much a slam dunk. Old lady is wrong yet again. Her argument, may I make her argument for her here? Her argument is going to be this. These neighbors are sitting out there with the damn leaf blower at all hours of the night. It's 7 o'clock. It's later than that. They're running the leaf blower. I can hear the leaf blower with my windows shut in my house. I didn't want to call the cops, but I snapped and I went over there. But I only snapped because of them. I snapped because they wouldn't stop with that goddamn leaf blower. Lady is bad, says Sun State John. Too stoned to care about stupid people. Okay. Night Nurse says the leaf blower is wrong. She should have called the cops from the beginning. Somebody picked the other side. I knew it would happen eventually. Next time, swat them? Oh, God. All right, let us know what you think. There's your pick a side for today. When we come back, we'll keep our eyes on this building. Hopefully this building does not fall in New York City. I cannot believe that they were building the top of this building up, trying to add more stories onto the top of the building. But they did such a shoddy job that these floors underneath started buckling, and now they believe that possibly the entire top 1/3 or so of this building could fall off. And of course, the danger would be the people on the street and all of the other buildings around it. You might be in a building that's perfectly secure, but if, a third of this building, the top portion, crashes off and hits one of the buildings nearby, That very well could take that building down. Now you got 3, 4 of them falling. Who knows? Stand by. We got these mystery spheres in Australia. Hey, I got one for you here. Skull Mike exclusive while we're on a commercial break. We are going to get back to the show here live in a moment. But we speak in between the breaks. How many of you have been following what happened with this bombing in Monaco? And before I lose you, stay with me here. Because there's this woman that police were looking for because there was an attack that seriously injured a Ukraine-born businessman. The woman was suspected of carrying out last week's bomb attack. I think it was a suitcase bomb in Monaco that seriously injured a Ukraine-born business tycoon. That woman has been found. They believe the woman might have been behind placing the suitcase there, targeting this Ukrainian businessman. They found her shot dead near Kyiv, and the latest twist in a case that's shaken the wealthy Mediterranean Principality of Monaco. The woman was found with a gunshot wound to the head, and that 2 men were arrested in connection with the case. She's 39-year-old Anastasia Berezovska, a Ukrainian national who speaks German. So they think she was behind this. Prosecutors said in a statement that Anastasia Berezovska received cryptocurrency payments from the 2 men who were later arrested, leading investigators to treat them as individuals potentially involved in a potential murder or attempted murder in Monaco. Prosecutors also released footage showing one of the houses of one of these people, these 2 people that she got cryptocurrency payments for it. One of the guys' houses had a freaking torture chamber in the basement. They had a torture chamber containing hammers and other equipment stained with blood. Holy cow. And they found this woman with a bullet to her head. 90 seconds and we're back. 90 seconds. Is she a spy? I mean, the crazy part about this is they tried to take out this Ukrainian-born businessman with a suitcase bomb. It didn't work, but a lot of the cameras around there in Monaco captured her and other people moving around. Then she was able to flee Monaco. They found her dead in Kyiv in Ukraine with a gunshot wound to the head. She had gotten crypto payments from these 2 guys, and one of the guys who sent the crypto payments had a torture chamber stained with blood with hammers everywhere in his basement. What the hell is going on here? That's crazy. I mean, that is crazy. Oh, we're coming back. Coming back live.
Tonight. What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog that they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The games more intense. The goals more meaningful.
This is what 2026 FIFA World Cup is all about.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026
live.
Magnificent Merino for Spain.
Hear the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final for free wherever you are.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and search
World Cup.
Just phenomenal.
The world is listening.
Are you?
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Preparing you for the impending robot uprising. This is the News Junkie.
Tuesday. Well, if you miss anything else and you want to learn more about the show, you can subscribe to the podcast for free over on thenewsjunkie.com. More of your feedback, emails, dispatches, and all the rest coming up in just a moment. Keep your support coming in with gifted subscriptions so you can unlock premium access to the show for other listeners, or just subscribe. I'd love to see you become a subscriber today to support the show that you're hearing right now. Couple of things here, and then we'll get geared up for jury duty momentarily. I don't have enough time to talk about the Mitch McConnell stuff, so we'll do that in just a bit, a little bit later on. In the final hour of the show, we'll work that in, and we'll also work in the Graham Platner stuff. Real quick, here's a weird one. They have found a bunch of mystery spheres on a beach in Australia. Space balls, they are calling them, C-Lane. That seems strange, but, let's see what we have here. Mystery Spheres, says UPI, the website, UPI.com, a newswire. Mystery spheres on an Australian beach have been identified as space balls. Here are the spheres. This is what they look like. I don't know what to make of this other than it is a giant metal ball. And it says Queensland fire and rescue crews are continuing to assist partner agencies following the discovery of several potentially hazardous objects on a beach in North Queensland.
Potentially hazardous because they don't want you to touch it and then take it home.
Because it's full of money, you think?
Probably.
There's cash in this thing? They said they're potentially hazardous. Oh, here's one on the beach. It's just a big metal ball on the beach.
It's a pretty large looking ball.
That couldn't be like a mine or something, right? I mean, I would hope not. It's a very, very big metal ball. That's what they found. It says mysterious metal spheres found on a beach in Queensland, Australia, were likely pressure vessels from a space launch, also known as space balls. Wait, is this a thing? There's pressure vessels from a space launch, also known as space balls. The spheres caused concern during the weekend when they were spotted on a beach. The objects were initially unidentified, but were considered potentially hazardous. They cordoned off an exclusion zone around the area and had the spheres examined by firefighters in hazmat gear. So they were like, I don't know if this is from space or what we're looking at here. And an Australian space agency spokesman said the objects had been recovered and identified. They appear to be pressure vessels from a space launch vehicle. The agency identified the likely source. Objects' location and characteristics are consistent with debris from a foreign rocket body that recently re-entered the atmosphere from orbit. I don't know if they're still dangerous, but it says this is a classic example of what's known as space balls. They're just using this like it's normal.
They keep saying space balls over and over again, and the more you say it, the more funny it is to me.
Space balls. This is a classic example of what's known as space balls, she said. Many rockets and spacecraft have liquid fuel systems that involve fuels under high pressure. They are in these pressure vessels made of robust material. These parts of the fuel system often survive because their melting points are higher than the temperature coming back through the atmosphere. She said the balls likely landed in the ocean and were carried ashore by tides. So they carry the fuel. They're stronger than the rest of whatever the rocket or whatever is. The rest of it burns up coming into the atmosphere, but the space balls survive and plop down into the ocean. It says we're going to see more of this in the future. More rockets means more space junk.
I didn't know we were just dropping balls everywhere.
I me either. I didn't know this was a thing, but they got them there on the beach here in Australia in this case. But if you see giant space balls on the beach, it could be that they're from these rockets. And I guess it's harmless, but they've got them under control, at least for right now. So there's what's happening with the mystery space balls in Australia. Now you know. Everybody seemed to agree, save for one person on chat, that in our pick a side that the old lady was in the wrong. Once again, old lady's taking it on the chin. The old lady was in the wrong, according to chat. I mean, one person did said the people with the leaf blower were in the wrong.
Well, you got to admit that there's, how much leaf blowing do you need? You just be getting constantly just bombarded by leaves nonstop?
Mm-hmm, true. Yeah, I mean, at some point you start to question what's going on here. But not enough for people to agree with the old lady.
They just turned on the machine. That was on purpose. You had to admit that seemed to be on purpose.
That's what she thought. A big thanks to Sun State John
All
for the
right.
16 gifted subscriptions. Look at that.
Nice
SSJ.
to see SSJ out there on Friday.
We did. And he's out of his mind, this guy. Not just because he supports the show by gifting these subscriptions. And I would encourage you to go claim one for yourself right now, courtesy of Sun State John's generosity. That will unlock secret shows and everything else on the website for you with the premium subscriptions. But he comes up to Sealand and I, and he just got done with surgery. And he said, yeah, they told me whatever I do, don't drive out to a live radio show that's 45 minutes away. And then if I do, keep the glasses on. He keeps taking the glasses off. I go, Sun State John, keep the glasses on. The doctor told you to keep the glasses on, for God's sake. But he was taking them off, and I hope his eye is doing okay. He had like a detached retina issue or something.
Oh, that's not something you should be active after.
No, I don't. That's not good. That's bad. But I'm glad he seemed okay. He was in good spirits out there.
Very much so. Everybody was.
He was a very nice guy. It was good to see him for sure. Let's see. A lot of people with emails. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. This person says, you had a caller that says FIFA reverses red cards all the time. It's actually happened once before during the World Cup. Was it a legitimate red card? No, but that's a different topic. All the talking heads said it would not be overturned. Well, the talking heads were wrong. Now it's just about who is responsible. From what I heard, Trump called the head of FIFA, but the head of FIFA said he's not the one who makes the decision. There's a panel who makes the decision, and that the call had nothing to do with it. Pick your poison, friends. I can't convince you.
The
of
talking
what really
heads
happened.
were wrong. It's not the same as it ever was.
It's not. Good song though. Although I don't like the Talking Heads very much. I know that there's people who are huge fans. What's the other song they have? There's one that I hate.
Burning Down the House?
No, I like that one,
That's
actually.
a great
Winning
song.
me back. Yeah, you're bringing me back on board, Sealand.
Got a couple bangers.
Here is, let's see, Kevin has a video dispatch about that building in New York City that is on the verge of collapse right now. Here he is.
About that building falling apart in New York City. When they do those big projects, it's all hands on deck. When I was 18, I was a certified welder building water towers, underground fuel tanks for gas stations.
Nice.
We'd make a crappy weld and just keep going. We'd say, you can't see it from my house. So I think there's quality control there. Also, it was so nice to meet you finally last Friday.
You too, bud. It was good seeing you out there at the live show on Friday. I just, it's so crazy to me that your building is so weak, is so like unstable, that you try to build up on top of it and then the beams just completely collapse in. And maybe the top half of this building will fall off. It could during the show today. I have no idea.
It might just slide off. You know, it looks like only that one
could.
side is buckling, so it might just kind of make a big ramp. And
that would be fantastic.
That's what
right?
it sounds like.
Right off there.
Sounds like a building from the
Jetsons. That there is a leaning building in Manhattan.
Another one?
161 Maiden Lane. They call it the Leaning Tower of New York. It was constructed years ago, and they didn't do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hammer beams way, way, way down into the bedrock. They instead did some kind of a thing where they filled it in with dirt, and it just wasn't solid. And they got way up. I mean, this thing is a very tall building. It's a tall,
it's tall and skinny.
Building. And it's 60 stories tall, and it started to lean.
It's a different building.
And now they don't know how to fix it. Nothing that they have tried is working to get it back straight, and they might just have to dismantle it, but they don't know how to dismantle it either. So it's just slowly leaning.
Wow. Oh, so this is...
And they don't know what they're going to do.
Have you seen this building he's talking about?
Yeah, it's got a look up 161 Maiden Lane on Wikipedia.
Okay.
This looks like it's New York's version of what Orlando just lovingly refers to as the I-4 eyesore over in Altamont Springs. You see how only some of it has windows?
Yeah.
As of 2024, only half of the finishes, including windows, have been installed because they.
But I can literally see how crooked it is.
Yeah.
Why don't they just knock these things down? I feel like that would be better.
In that city, it's easier said than done.
I guess so. This is a 670-foot tall residential skyscraper on Maiden Lane in the financial district, and it leans 3 inches to the north because of the way they constructed the foundation. And this is sort of similar to the work on top of this other building in New York City that may send that crashing to the ground during the show today. So we'll keep an eye on that. When we come back, here's what we're doing. We've got to get to jury duty. I got a big viral clip to kick off jury duty about something that is important for those of you with kids in particular. But there's more than that. We have many, many more things to get into. And then in our final hour of the show, we'll dive deep into what's happening. Is Mitch McConnell dead? Is he alive? What is all the details available to us? Tell us about what's happening next. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is...
Hello.
Here's what's trending from the
Stand by.
Sports Network, presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Second to Sun-State John with the, count 'em, 16 gifted subscriptions. Now it's time for you to step up.
Yo.
Oh, hello.
That 161 Maiden Lane.
Yeah.
Also, construction workers and unions protested the building, mounting an inflatable rack to protest the fact that non-unionized laborers were employed.
It's interesting that it becomes a battle between the construction workers and the union and not in the union.
Yeah.
And honestly, they have a pretty good point if the building's going to fall down.
Yes.
All right, folks. Here are the ways to support the show. A couple of them. We'll start off easy. One, over on YouTube, you can hit that like button. Hit that like button to boost the stream. On a Share the Show Tuesday, that's an excellent way to support the show. Two, sign up for a premium subscription and unlock secret shows over on thenewsjunkie.com. That is an excellent way to support the show. I appreciate every single one of you that does that. That is literally the best way to support the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Or three, gift them. Like Sun-State John just did with 16 gifted subs. Thank you. Thank you. SSJ says, you gift 16 subs and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. True, but money well spent. Money well spent. Let's see how those are doing. Oh, there's only one left. Well, I spoke too soon. There are none left. Those are gone. Those went fast on stage, John. Sometimes unions, Justin says, have been known to intentionally sabotage something if you don't go with them because they feel slighted, allegedly. Big if true. But I don't know that there's any evidence saying that these guys in New York did anything to sabotage this building. It looks like the building was just getting too heavy for the support structure underneath it. And once that happens, anybody out there in construction at all, once those support beams collapse like that and they end up looking like this, can you go back and replace them with all new support beams, or do you just need to start over from there up? Is it fixable? When we come back in just 2 minutes, we have to determine if this is true or not. An Oregon mom, a woman from Oregon, is going viral because she said she brought her son, who's 13 years old, to the hospital, and she said she wanted to check in on how her son was doing, and they said, we can't help you with that. They denied the mother access to her 13-year-old son's patient portal. She says that they told her, because he's 13, you can't look at your son's patient portal anymore. Your son has a private connection with the hospital. Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Where'd you go?
Nowhere.
You went to Costco?
Yeah.
How much did you spend at Costco?
100.
$100? You think $100 just grows on trees?
Kind of.
You think Stanleys just grow on trees?
No.
Did you get me anything?
I got you more granola bars.
That's not really exciting.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. $100 at Costco. And what do I get out of it? Some freaking granola bars? What the hell? Did she get those new mango ice creams? What are the mango ice creams? We're coming back live right now.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at Advanced Air Home Services.
Coming to terms with a dying AC unit is tough. If you need to replace your AC, visit AdvancedAirandHeat.com to schedule your free estimate. Advanced Air Home Services. License CAC 1820806. Terms and conditions apply.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit HeadquarterHyundai.com.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This is
On the way, I got a video that's going viral to work into jury duty. Real quickly before that, where can I find this tweet, Sealand? Where can I find this tweet that was at the center of this controversy you're talking
Search for Pepsi Wild Cherry tweet or something like that. Because it was a little like a couple thousand people were jumping on this thing yesterday.
Right.
I noticed it on Threads, and then it was also on X. But if you're having to scroll that far, they might have deleted it.
Did they delete it? That would be really lame. Hang on. Pepsi. It was Cherry Pepsi is what it was about?
It was about, they call it Pepsi Wild Cherry now.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Okay, here it is. I think they did delete it. The post in question, which I guess was somehow controversial to some people, was Pepsi Wild Cherry is what happens when regular cherry stops asking permission.
Uh-huh.
So what did did people turn that into like a rape joke? Is that what they did?
By and large, the response to that was, I can't believe Pepsi just made a rape joke.
Do you get that at all from that post?
No.
When I hear this is what happens when somebody stops asking permission, I think that means like they just do what they want, but I don't think about sex.
Right. Stops asking, I ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah.
Right. I'm usually not talking about sex.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is not something that I would have thought was controversial. Somebody said, don't make me switch to Coke because we found out y'all were on Epstein Island or something. So they're dumping on Pepsi a little bit. Pepsi deletes Wild Cherry tweet after backlash.
So here's the thing. And when I first saw it, one of the people who was like hardcore anti-Pepsi for this was like, it said consent on my screen and they just changed it. And I go, well, I don't think you can change that. And I haven't seen a single picture or any sort of like screenshot or anything that would imply that used to say consent.
Yeah.
I could see a little bit if it said consent. But stop asking permission is just like, well, it's wild. The wild cherry is being wild.
People are bored. It's a slow news cycle still. We got a couple of things popping today. We got a few things going on. But that's what I'm seeing here. TDG says that's just the internet culture nowadays. It's like 4 people over and over and over who are just finding the next thing to be upset about. But trust me, The big eye-opening thing is that they don't actually care. You'll learn that at some point in time. You go, oh, I get it. These people aren't really outraged. They don't actually care about any of this.
When they say the Pepsi Wild Cherry is what happens when regular cherry stops asking permission, I just, in my head, I hear like, when people stop getting polite and start getting real.
Yeah, I'm getting that same vibe here, too. It doesn't upset me, but we'll see what everybody else has to say. But right now, let's do this. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the news junkie.
Fresh Rock says Clear Pepsi would never have done that.
No, not right now.
How could you make this joke? We're all so upset. That you go, are you really? Gun to your head. Are you really upset? I don't think you are. This woman is upset, though. This has got over 1 million views. This is a woman from Oregon. The story is from the Daily Dot. An Oregon mom claims she was denied access to her son's patient portal at the hospital. The reason, it was because he was a preteen, or a teenager, I guess, in this case, because he's 13. The woman's claims have now gone viral. The source of the recording is unconfirmed. According to the woman, the hospital denied her access to her son's medical records. The mother appeared infuriated over this. Let's listen to the mom. Let's hear her.
I just got done taking my son to the doctor, and they tried telling me at the front desk that I don't have access to his patient portal anymore because he just turned 13. Are you kidding me? He is under the age of 18. He is my child. I should have access to what his medical stuff is. That is insane to me.
Okay, she says that is insane, which I agree is insane. I don't know if this is true. Could it possibly be the case that in Oregon they've gone so far off the reservation that they say you can't even look at your own kid's medical records? Your 13-year-old child gets medical privacy? Which, come on. Normal people are looking at this going, wait, what? If you're an adult human being with a child, and you have a 13-year-old child, you bring them into the doctor and you go, I just need to see their patient portal. I need to see what's going on. And then they go, nope, sorry, can't do that. Your child has medical privacy at 13.
Parents permanently lose automatic full access to their child's medical records when the child turns 18. That's the age at which they say you're a legal adult. You're protected by the HIPAA privacy rule.
Yep.
Providers may restrict access as early as 12 to 14 for sensitive treatments the minor legally consented to independently.
Let me tell you something. To whatever organization wants to do that, there ain't nothing between my child and you that you can say, hey, we're not going to show you this, okay? This is a sensitive issue between us and the parent. That's insane. That's insane nonsense stuff out there in crazy town.
What if the child told the doctor, hey, my parents are abusing me?
I think that why would you not show them the patient portal though? Because you're not going to put abuse in the patient portal, I don't think, would you?
Right. Well, I think the patient portal. So what I guess what they're saying here is there are certain tests that they would run.
Yeah.
Like in this case for a young girl, if she asks for some sort of pregnancy test, they not want that to be. I would just say don't put that on the portal, but they got to put it somewhere. It says, while parents generally act as the legal personal representative to access records, many states allow minors to confidentially consent to specific treatments without parental involvement, including mental health services, substance abuse treatments, sexual and reproductive health care, and pregnancy testing.
Yeah, but I got to also say, if it's a pregnancy test for my 12-year-old, I want to know that. I don't think my 12-year-old should be able to keep a pregnancy test away from me as a parent. And that's not between the hospital or the whoever and the 12-year-old. It's a kid. I don't want a private conversation between that. I do have a willing ear to lend toward what you were saying, where they might want to make sure that the kids can report abuse or something to them. But does that look like it's real? So there is an issue where you can keep things at 12 and 13 away from the parents?
I mean, this is just like kind of the top of the search with the general kind of Google. It kind of takes everything together and cites its sources. But it seems like in some states the provider might be allowed to kind of leave some stuff out, or maybe take the parent out of the access if there's something like that. But it also seems it's for like the most extreme of situations where you might need to do something like this.
Right, but who's to determine what is extreme like that. Like
in this case, the doctor.
I don't want the doctors to have that decision and be able to like, well, we're not telling you.
Like when I say the most extreme of circumstances, I'm saying like you say there's no situation in which a parent should not know that their child has had a pregnancy test. Maybe if it's the parent.
Well, in that case, arrest the parent.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the parent reading whatever the results of the test are. If there's a crime going on, the parent won't have to worry about being able to see the medical records if they're being charged with the crime in question. We got to take a quick break. We'll see if there's any more about this. Any feedback back you have? Any feedback or back? We'll take bakes and backs, all of that good stuff as we get into the power hour, because that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
All the cool kids are doing it, and you want to be like the cool kids.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Stand by. Big news. Thank you to R. Willie B with the 10 gifted subscriptions. Lock in your premium subscription over on the newsjunkie.com right now. Thank you so much, R. Willie B. Thank you for the big support. Let's keep the momentum going. You're next.
Check eligibility at nashlivertrials.com.
I would love for you to bump that up a little bit. Even just one gifted subscription or just you subscribing helps out. For just pennies a day, you can save a me and buy all the things around this studio that I need to take things up to the next level. R. Willie B, big thanks for the gifted subscriptions. I'll mention that when we come back. R. Willie B times 10. Go subscribe over on the newsjunkie.com right now. Stand by. I gotta get something going here. Chat, do we have any updates on that building? Any updates? Excuse me. I think my marriage is over. The lawnmower we bought together when we got our first place is rusting. Ooh. Big if true. Hang on one second. Okay, I'll do the rest of this during the next break. Hit that gift icon or subscribe yourself over on the newsjunkie.com. Messi just scored to give Argentina the win. What? What? Big if true. Tanya said, just reading, it looks like, oh shoot. Hang on. I lost you, Tanya. Just reading, it looks like this mom can have her kid tell the doc office that he wants his mom to have proxy access and then she can access it all. That's good, but I still don't want 12-year-old kids to be in charge of medical decisions. I don't think that they should have private medical decisions with their doctors. I think there should be no bond breaking between the parent and the child by way of the medical world. I think we can put up guardrails for safety, make sure that these kids have a way to report being abused, report other things, get help with certain things, but it's far too important that parents be able to bring up their children in the way that they think is right, and that they be aware of what medical issues or things are going on between a 12-year-old and the doctor. I think that's just kind of common sense, isn't it? Stand by. Thank you again, R. Willie B, for the 10 gifted subs. Listen, Tanya, we can't just keep going back and telling people what they missed. Abraham Dragon Friend says, I'm very suspicious of the mother's story. I would be. We don't know anything about this mother. I mean, there's a lot of questions, but I didn't even know that that was true, that it could be a possibility that you wouldn't be told about your 12-year-old's medical issues. I mean, that's just, we've just gone over to crazy town.
World Cup update.
The U.S. will now have to look ahead to the next World Cup after being eliminated last night. Team USA's Tyler Adams grateful for the fan support they received during the tournament.
Support was unbelievable. I think our initial reaction as a team was that in this moment we let them down.
The U.S. is out, but the World Cup rolls on. Round of 16 action includes Colombia and Switzerland today.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station guaranteed human. Radio. Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones.
Here you are, friend. You're in good shape. You're in a good spot. And you can't keep any secrets from us. Like a 12-year-old at a doctor's office in Oregon apparently can. Let us know your thoughts on that over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, you know what? I'm not going to wait any longer because I want to get into the Mitch McConnell drama. I want to get into a bunch of other stuff, but we are running shorter on time. So let's not wait any longer. Let's do the Power Hour.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
I'm taking my bitch out to dinner, bro.
It's time for the Power Hour on the News Junkie.
We're going to be so aggro about it.
Yeah, it's out of context. I don't know how, but it is out of context. Is Mitch McConnell dead or alive? That's the question of the day, C-Lane. I don't know if he is or if he isn't, but it all started, well, with Mitch McConnell, first of all, just being kind of MIA after zonking out a few times. And then this tweet right here from Laura Loomer, who's pretty close to the Trump administration, 11.4 million views. She says, a high-level source close to the White House tells me Mitch McConnell is officially brain dead. He's not coming back. That's what she said. I mean, take this with a grain of salt. But then she followed up with Mitch McConnell is being kept alive by life support machines. But my White House source told me McConnell is an organ failure. And as I reported, the source told me he has allegedly been declared a vegetable or brain dead by doctors. I don't think doctors use that term.
Yeah.
He's a vegetable. Put it down. Put it on the list.
I think that there's obviously there's a lot of things that used to be medical terms that we ruined, and then they have to keep coming up with new medical terms and playing
Like
whack-a-mole, idiot, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them for sure.
But I think that the bedside manner of telling you that your loved one is brain dead, I don't know that they say it. I don't know that you would.
I have a couple pieces of evidence. We'll try to figure out what's really going on here. Let's start off with things we actually know. This is real. This is EMS and fire dispatch audio from June 14th, 2026. This is the emergency being dispatched to Senator Mitch McConnell's house. He was unconscious. Paramedics were sent, and this is the actual audio. Here we are.
Medical local paramedic agent 3, medic 3, ALS response unconscious, 27 in Charlie. Medical local paramedic agent 3, medic 3, ALS response unconscious, 2.
I'll tell you what she's saying in a moment.
Charlie, close of 2nd Street on Charlie 11, 836.
Okay, I'm going to play that one more time. I'm going to bring the volume down, of course, and then I'll tell you what this woman was actually saying here because it's a little hard to hear. So she said, medical paramedic engine, ALS response, unconscious person, and then they censored that out.
Medical local paramedic agent 3, medic 3, ALS response unconscious.
So there was some speculation that they had said that there was CPR going on when this was happening, that there was CPR going on, and that this was for Mitch McConnell. ALS is advanced life support, according to the post I'm seeing here. And this was the call that happened on June 14th. So that's almost a month ago at 8:36 a.m. And they believe this was all about Mitch McConnell. Now, there's stuff that offsets this. It's very complicated to try to see what's really happening here. Scott Jennings of CNN, he says, I spoke to my old friend Mitch McConnell this morning. This is from Tuesday morning. Okay, Scott Jennings on CNN is saying, I spoke to my old friend Mitch McConnell this morning, the senior senator from Kentucky.
Senior.
He's still
Is there
recovering.
something more senior than senior?
Because he's it. He's still recovering in the hospital. We talked for just shy of 20 minutes about Iran, Ukraine, and the unfolding situation in Maine. Iran, Ukraine, and Maine. My visit to the TR Presidential Library, and even a little bit of Senate history. I told him we want to see him back at work as soon as possible. So that's Scott Jennings of CNN saying he has seen Mitch McConnell, or not seen him, I shouldn't say that he's spoken with Mitch McConnell. He claims Mitch McConnell is not dead and that he talked to him about all these serious issues for about 20 minutes long. This is when things start to go sideways. The Hill, which is a pretty respected political news organization about Capitol Hill, obviously, accidentally posted what amounts to a death notice for Mitch McConnell at one point. They said, do not use a look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate. Do not use TBD, it says. Now, when they're saying this, when they're saying a look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate, these are things that are already in the can for the moment homeboy dies so that they could just go roll it, run all the Mitch McConnell dead stuff. And they accidentally published this. And keep in mind, a lot of confusion about what this is, what the situation is with Senator McConnell. But they said, do not use a look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate, and they actually published that.
A little embarrassing that they would have put that up there.
Yep, but they said that was an accident and not related to any actual update on his condition. NBC News says paramedics responded to a cardiac arrest at Mitch McConnell's home on the day of his hospitalization. That was, again, about a month ago. They were conducting CPR on a person experiencing cardiac arrest. So that's pretty bad, right? This is a pretty bad shape he's in. According to the audio, the first medic on the scene began performing CPR and then was joined by an additional EMS team at the same address. McConnell's office, which has not disclosed why he was hospitalized, referred NBC News to a June 22nd statement when it was asked about the audio Wednesday. Senator McConnell is still working closely with staff on Senate business and Kentucky matters as he continues his recovery. However, he will not be voting this week, says his spokesman. They said he remains hospitalized. He appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving while continuing his recovery in the hospital. But it's starting to look a little fishy. Here's the thing. If the whole world is speculating that a sitting U.S. senator is dead, is brain dead, a vegetable, whatever you want to call it, is in some critical care situation. If he can talk to Scott Jennings from CNN, can we get him on the phone to one of these news organizations live?
Can Scott Jennings from CNN get him on the phone?
Yeah, let's get him on the phone and just say, okay, now we can all hear him and we know that he's alive and we don't have to question this anymore. What's this here that I'm looking at? This is the governor of Kentucky talking about this. All right, is Kentucky governor.
We have received no information.
Very quiet governor.
There's been any direct outreach. I'm unaware of it. I don't want to speculate about anybody's health. The only things that I know, I've read, and I can't verify.
All right, that's the governor right there. He's saying we have received no information.
No information.
None. He said we've received no information about the situation with Senator McConnell. Then somebody said Leader John Thune spoke with him on the phone soon after the accident, said Mitch sounded good in good spirits. Laura Loomer, the one originally behind the thing that started all this, said, that doesn't sound right because I was in South Dakota all week and a Thune staffer told a source close to me and the White House that Mitch McConnell is an extreme organ failure. And then even weirder, his wife, Elaine Chao, made several reported appearances in China while he's in the hospital. So he's maybe on death's door, or at the very least had CPR being done to him and he's in the hospital. And his wife is over in China making several appearances.
Okay.
Let me see if I can play. Hold on.
It's a
I wanna
little bit
play this
suspect.
report.
A little bit.
It is a little bit suspect. Let's see. Let me get this report up. This is from WLKY. They're talking about, did I refresh this? I want to get them talking about how his wife went to China. Okay. Chow is his wife's last name.
At the same time, we're learning Senator McConnell's wife, former Labor and Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, visited China days after the senator was admitted to the hospital. The Chinese embassy says Chao met with China's vice president in Beijing June 17th, but did not provide more detail.
All right, so she went to China. We don't know what's going on with that. We know without a doubt that we've had all these incidents. I'll show you one of them here if you don't know, where Mitch McConnell kind of glitched out. Mitch McConnell freezing. There's so many of these that I think there's multiple ones I could bring up. Like here's one.
Finishing the NDA this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
zoom in. Huh? Mitch. That's not good. This is just one of the times when this happened.
Are you good?
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, Mitch. Hey, Mitch, there's cameras on you. Something's going wrong here. So that's one of these incidents. I think there was another one where he glitched out. And that just tells you why people were concerned. Here's the second one. There could be
another
more.
troubling incident for Mitch McConnell.
What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Then the 81-year-old Senate minority leader stood silent. An aide steps in.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Can you hear me, Mitch?
Still just a blank expression.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Yeah, you might need more than that. So what do we think? What's going on here? Is there some cover up? Because I know there's some point here where if Mitch McConnell, if he's announced dead after some point, then they wouldn't do an election. They would just wait until the natural election occurs, as best I can tell. Look that up real quick, C-Lane. Like Mitch McConnell election. I don't even know what to search, but I've seen something about this where they said if he waits a certain amount of days, or if his office waits a certain amount of days, and they go, actually he's incapacitated or dead, then they have to have an election, which would be worse for them than if they just waited and they got past this like certain point. I don't know what it is, but we'll try to find that out in a moment. It's all very concerning, very weird. That's Mitch McConnell. Is he alive? Is he brain dead? Who's lying? Who's telling? Well, I don't know. We'll have to find out here. But this could all be answered with one simple thing. If Mitch McConnell can talk to the dude from CNN, and could talk to Senator Thune, then Mitch McConnell can get on the phone with Fox News and say, hey, rumors about my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I'm fine. I'll be back soon. That would be easy enough, right? I would think so.
All right. It says recent hospitalizations, renewed scrutiny of what would happen if Kentucky's longest-serving senator were unable to complete his term. There's been no indication he plans to resign. The episode has drawn attention to a major change Kentucky lawmakers made in 2024 to the vacancy laws.
All right.
The legislation eliminated the governor's ability to appoint a replacement senator and instead directed vacancies to be filled through a special election process. The change would apply if a vacancy occurred before McConnell's term expires in January of next year.
Okay, so they'd have to wait till January? Is that it?
No, the change would apply if a vacancy occurred, meaning if his term already is up in January and he's not running again. I mean, I don't think he's running again.
I certainly hope not after this.
He never actually answered the question, so I don't know if what his plans are. But
that poses a problem.
If the vacancy occurred, meaning he resigned or I guess passed away, then they would do the special election to get another senator in there, it seems like.
All right. Well, we're just kind of speculating, trying to figure out what we can. That's all the information I've seen on Mitch McConnell. What do you think? Let us know. Emails, dispatches, those are welcome. You can join us on the show. Tips, TIPS, @thenewsjunkie.com, or record your thoughts on the website of the app. Search for The News Junkie in the App Store right now. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into your latest submissions, your feedback. I want to hear from you, so send that. And we'll also get into a story about Netflix that I think subscribers are going to want to know. What's happening? That's coming up next on The News Junkie.
Robots don't overshare. We do.
Welcome in. Welcome behind the scenes. Go, Mike. Activate. What do we think, chat? Do we think? Go ahead.
Somebody in the chat said that McConnell's wife is going to China to buy robot arms.
Gonna end up like a Futurama character, like just that. What do we think?
Is sponsored by Allstate.
Much ado about nothing?
You can save money on
Is he
cars.
dead? Is he alive?
Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. If you're on the go, JustCallMo.com.
Hey Orlando, why settle for one dealership when you can shop three? Greenway Kia's 3 Central Florida locations give you access.
All right, stand by. I'll be there in 1 sec.
Shop over 1,200 new Kias, all priced clearly online at GreenwayKias.com. Plus, when you trade with us, over
I need a song to end on, Celine. Something banger.
to help maximize its value.
I really thought you were going to go once in a lifetime by Talking Heads.
Oh, we can do that. Talking Heads. All right, 1 second. Once in a Lifetime is the song, right?
Yeah, that was the one that I...
Perfect. All right, I'll get the audio for today, I learned, during the final break. Just clear this out. All right, we're set. Chat, how many of you are following the Graham Platner drama? Yes or no? Did anybody see that Trump kind of looks like he had a stroke too? No, I did not. Is Ted Williams' head in a jar somewhere? Possibly. Should it be term limits in Congress or age limits? Can both be an option? Because I think both would be the best move. I think if you can't get done what you want to get done in 6 years in Congress, then somebody else should have your job. You suck so bad at your job that you need, 60 years to accomplish things? Get out of here. Literally get out of here. Term limits and age limits, yes. The only problem is that there's different ways of aging. There's people who are 90, sharp as a tack, just with it 100%. You probably know somebody who's aged that way and you're like, damn, that guy's 95 years old and he's so coherent and so with it. And then there's people who are like 75 and way worse than the 95-year-old. Different strokes for different folks. Kentucky special election is required before 3 months at the end of the term, meaning August 3rd. Yeah, I mean, I think 2 terms ought to be the limit in the Senate at the most. 2-term limit. Same for the presidency, even though we've had some presidents who didn't necessarily want to do that. I'm looking at you, FDR, you old wheelie. 2 terms should be enough to get whatever you want to get done. And I don't think anybody over the age of 75 should be holding a seat with so much power that impacts so many other Americans that it makes us question your mental and physical health. I think 75 years old should be the cutoff limit, and I think 2 terms should be the limit. I think that would improve things, at least a little bit. You're talking about implementing cognitive testing maybe after a certain age. I don't think cognitive testing will work, and I think cognitive testing could be politicized, so I think it's better just to have a firm cutoff. If you just say 75 is the mandatory retirement age for any elected officials in the United States of America, and if you say you have 2 terms to get the job done, otherwise you suck, and it's time for somebody else to take the gig. Because cognitive things, like you could have somebody who's completely out of it, and then their doctors just cover up whatever's going on because they're partisan or they're like in on what's happening. Or somebody who is fine, but there's a doctor who disagrees with them politically. I don't trust that enough. 1 minute. 2 terms, but do they have to be consecutive? You either get 2 consecutive or you only get 1. Right? What other job in the world do we let people promise us all these things, and then when they can't get them done, 6, 12, 18, well, the next quarter century is when I'll get it done. No! Fire these losers after 2 terms. Or 1 if they can't make it to 2. 75, you're out of here. See you later, sucker.
And conserved 18 million acres of Florida land, including thousands of acres of working farmland. Wilton Simpson is a conservative workhorse who gets the job done. A proven conservative farmer endorsed by Ron DeSantis. Wilton Simpson for Commissioner of Agriculture. Paid for by Wilton Simpson, Republican, for Florida Commissioner of Agriculture.
The game's more intense. The goals more meaningful.
This is what 2026 FIFA World Cup is all about.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026
live.
Magnificent Merino for Spain. Hear the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final for free wherever you are.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and search
World Cup. Just phenomenal.
The world is listening.
Are you?
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
Over and over and over again. It's time for you to get on board with the most viral newsroom here. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. We're talking a little bit during the break about what should happen with situations like this. Mitch McConnell and the questions over whether he's dead or alive should be regardless of what your political team is. If you're one of these stupid teams people, whatever your political team is, there should be something we can agree as a wake-up call, just like it was with, what was it, Barbara Boxer, or she was the one that they were wheeling in, and
Dianne Feinstein?
Dianne Feinstein, yeah, Dianne Feinstein, where they were wheeling her in. It looked like her staffers were like taking her power over and not admitting that she wasn't well enough to be in control of her office.
Well, they don't have like a thing for that for senators. So like for the president, because one person is the president and one person needs to have the executive power, they have the 25th Amendment. And if somebody, underneath the president gets enough signatures together and says, I don't think this person is, mentally fit or physically fit, able to execute their duties, they can invoke a section of the 25th Amendment and have the president replaced either temporarily or, I don't know, maybe permanently. But, but since the Senate is like a body of people, they didn't put anything in there that says, you can 25th Amendment somebody out of that seat, because if they're gone, they're just absent that day and the whole body still votes. The voting margins might be off, but that's just how it goes.
And by the way, this is like, there's scandals all over the place with this. We just had, can you look this up, C-Line? Because forgive me, I wasn't following this story as close as I should have been. There is a congressman who was just disappeared for months. And then he resurfaced and they go, where were you? You're the elected official for these people. You were gone. You were disappeared for months. And he goes, I was depressed. He said he was depressed and he just kind of like wandered away.
What about Tom Keene?
Tom Keene, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Like, this is another example of like, people elected this person. You're in charge of making sure that these people are representing these people who voted for you and set you into office. And then I think he disappeared for several months, right?
Nearly four, it says. Representative Thomas Keene Jr. absent from Congress for nearly 4 months. And as soon as I start reading, the thing kicks in. Yeah, they showed up at his house, and he had a suit and tie on at least.
Yeah, because he's like, I was waiting for you. I've been so depressed at my house. Listen, cowboy, if you're too depressed to show up for work as an elected official for 4 months and you're too upset about things, it's time to step down. How is depression such a good excuse for this, for anybody? If you worked at a tire shop and you didn't show up for 4 months and you came back and they said, where the hell have you been? And you said, well, I've just been pretty depressed, guys. Honestly, it was tough. I've been depressed and I haven't been able to be here changing tires. You think that they go, well, all right, get back on the line, get to work. No, it's ridiculous. Now, I agree that people have mental health issues and I want those people to get help, but go get help away from your job and leave the job to somebody else who can properly represent these people. These are easy problems to fix. I was talking about this during the break with the Skull Mike folks. You can watch over at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. So 2 easy ways to fix this that everybody, no matter what political team you're on, should agree with. Number 1, we need term limits. Limit people to 2 terms. The presidency is supposedly limited to 2 terms. There have been presidents like FDR who have gone beyond that 2-term limit, but mostly presidents have agreed. The idea was that you weren't going to go on and on like a king, because that's what we were rejecting in the United States of America. So I think that for all elected officials, there should be a 2-term limit. I'm looking at you, mayors. I'm looking at you, senators. I'm looking at anybody who's an elected official. If you can't get the job done in 2 terms, then you're not good at the job. That's it. You should be able to, in 2 terms, get everything in the world done that you could possibly get done and then go on to your life not being a politician. A politician should never be a career job for anyone. I'll say that again. A politician should never be a career job for anyone. You should not be spending 60 years in power as a senator or a congressman or whatever. 2 terms and you're out. I don't care what the job is. If you're dog catcher and you haven't caught all the dogs, see you later. Sayonara. Adios, muchacho. You've had your time. On to the next one. So I think a hard and fast line on 2 terms and then a hard and fast line on 75 years old. That's it. Mandatory retirement at 75 years old. If you want to try to run for election at 71, well, guess what? You've not got enough time to get your entire term in, so you have to step down. A mandatory retirement age, because you can't do all these cognitive tests. You can't trust them. You don't know if the people are lying on the cognitive test. You don't know if they agree or disagree with the person politically. It's like too much nonsense about this. This is easy stuff. And we could get this voted into law. Here's the problem. It's like getting Congress to vote for a pay cut against themselves. They're not going to do it. So you'll never get these things passed because even though most people agree with what I'm saying, that there should be a 2-term limit for everybody in an elected office and that 75 years old should be a mandatory retirement age for all these people, we have to rely on the people who are in their 70s and in their 5th terms to vote this through. They're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. That's the only problem that we face until we have a fresh batch of younger people, maybe, but maybe even they don't want to do it. We'll see what you think about this. Send us some dispatches over on thenewsjunkie.com. Celine, did you see this BJ's wholesale place where the roof collapsed over the weekend? Let me see if I can find a video for our streaming folks. There is, that's a dangerous search. I just searched for BJ's on X.com. Here is this is security footage in this BJ's store. BJ's, if you don't know, if you're somewhere where they don't have BJ's, I feel like I'm saying this strange.
Like a Costco or a Sam's. It's a wholesale club.
It's a wholesale club, like a big box store, like a Costco. Here's the footage. Got this old man here wandering around with his cart.
Oh my gosh!
The roof collapses. Wow, it rocked this old man's world.
Was that water coming down there?
Yeah. So the roof collapsed.
What is this noise?
I have no idea. Somebody's like, oh!
I think they're doing like a video of a video where they're just holding their phone up to it.
Yeah, and so the roof collapses in on this old guy. I'll put this up on See It Now. And then let me see if I can find the other video where now I got to search for BJ's water. All right. Wish me luck, folks.
BJ's roof.
The place filled.
Put it in that order, though. Don't do roof BJ's.
Don't show my laptop right now. I'm searching for BJ's. All right. Here's what the roof looked like, Celine. You can show this. All right. This is the roof completely collapsed. Maybe it was those solar panels. I don't think so. But the roof collapsed. And now I'm going back to it. So hold on. I'm back onto the dangerous search here. But there was like a massive flood. BJ's flood. Is that a safer one, maybe? If you could find it.
That was a lot of water.
Let me know. Yeah. Oh, it came rushing in big. And is this it afterwards?
Close the store down.
All right. I'm going to mute this guy. He sounds like he might curse. He said, close the store down. Oh, here it is. It's a river.
Jeez.
A river. Inside the BJ's. When the roof fell down, it flooded the entire place. And this guy's shouting for them to close the store down.
What an obvious thing to say.
Close it down.
We were going to stay open. Just let people swim to their rotisserie chickens.
I'll put both of those up on See It Now, but I do love how the guy's like, I don't care if this is a hot take or not. I think you should close the store down. Yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, I agree, sir. I actually agree
it's
with
like
what
if somebody
you're
said
saying.
evacuate the place. Like I think the people who were able to get out of it probably saw the writing on the wall and said, we need to get out of this building. It's not safe to be here.
Agreed, yeah. I mean, we still have so much stuff to try to get into today. I don't know if we have enough time for the Graham Platner stuff. People had sent over this loser, Jackson Hinkle. He's in Iran where they're having a funeral for the Ayatollah. We blasted off of the face of the planet, and he's like chanting against America.
Down with USA! USA! Down with USA! USA!
It's an American dude, by the way.
Down with USA! USA.
Self-hating Americans are so unbelievably, undeniably cringe. And I saw a whole bunch of people say, well, we should deport this guy. We should revoke his citizenship. We should do all of these things. And it's like, sure. I think he lives in Russia, though. I don't think he's living in the United States of America. Some loser who's just constantly anti-Western, anti-American, online name. Well, who cares what his name is? But they're over there. They finally got to bury the Ayatollah.
If he's at the Ayatollah funeral announcing that, on the microphone doing Down with USA stuff. First of all, does he want to come back here? I mean, legally, can we cancel his passport?
I don't know if you can or can't, but I think this is the problem. Like, you can say we should deport this guy, but if the guy doesn't stay in America, what are you going to do?
Deport him to,
Meep says that's freedom of speech, though. Like, miss me with that a little bit, right? I don't think you should cut off your nose to spite your face. And in some cases, I think that is a powerful argument. But I do think that people who take advantage of the freedoms of the United States to advocate for the destruction of the United States, I will shed no tears for those human beings. I'll say it again. People who take advantage of the rights and laws of the United States of America to dismantle the United States as we all know it and appreciate it in most cases, and get rid of those rights and freedoms for everybody else, miss me with your tears. I don't care if you're not getting the ultimate freedom of speech experience, if your end goal is to take down the very country that supports your right to do this. So, he can kiss my ass. I don't really care that much about this dude. And that's going to have to do it for right now. I'll get that BJ's video. I'll get that video up on See It Now so you can see what happened when the roof caved in there. Quick break. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Florida is receiving nearly $40 million to support new electric vehicle charging stations across the Sunshine State.
If you don't mind, though, I want to know where those Duval ones are going to be so I can sit and watch the people wonder what it is. Hey, what's that? Is a new robot? That's a new robot up there, isn't it?
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1. This way.
All right, folks. Hold on. I'm putting this BJ's roof collapse video up on See It Now. Roof collapses at BJ's wholesale location.
This report is sponsored by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Divers Down safety is all about visibility and distance. Whether you're diving, snorkeling, or harvesting, use a device that's clearly visible from all directions. Boaters, always keep a safe distance.
Causing
when possible.
damage.
Know the rules and stay safe. Visit myfwc.com.
No, hold on. Roof. Okay, I got it. I got it. Catastrophic roof collapse at BJ's. Okay. All right. All right, that's up on See It Now. We did not get to the Graham Platner story. We'll probably have to push that off to tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some fresh drama on it. Okay, I think I already printed this, but I'll print it again. Superman, Okay, Superman theme. All right, rate the show, everybody. Rate the show. 10 out of 10 is a winner into the Hall of Fame. Right over here, no notes. 1 out of 10 is a big fat loser into the Hall of Shame in the corner over there. the show out of 10? 8 bent girders out of 10. How's that building doing? Now I gotta get my final clip for Today I Learned. Talking Heads.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy. The number one mistake people make when getting a mortgage is not preparing your quote. It's so easy.
1 out of 10 says Eddie. Brutal Eddie. 20 out of 10. That's more like it. 8 out of 10 glitch Mitches. 10 out of 10 flooding BJs. 16 additional floors out of 10. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Okay, 130 will do. Fade in. 2-second fade. There you go. All right, I gotta go get Today Alert. 10 out of 10 for being back on air today. Thank you, Mama Greaser. 9 waiting for the next live in-person broadcast out of 10. I promise you, the biggest, craziest live broadcast we've ever done this Halloween. All right, craziest we've ever done. Okay. 10 out of 10 Talking Heads. Das Hefe says 10 out of 10, baby. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. YouTubers, please do me a massive favor right now. Hit that like button. Hit that like button over on YouTube. Cost you nothing. It's a great way to share the show. It's never too late to give some subscriptions. We can get this skull mic set up that will improve the skull mic volume for everybody. All right, if you think that's a good upgrade, it's going to cost money. So the gifted subscriptions, or you just subscribing to Secret Shows, that's the best way to help us. Stay gold. We'll see you tomorrow.
And magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The FIFA World Cup is everywhere.
What a strike!
But the only place to hear every game live for free
is iHeartRadio.
The curse is broken!
Don't miss a moment.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and search World Cup.
Summer means a whole lot of extra miles. Last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Forever hovering over life's great dump.
Stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. And so much stuff that we didn't get to work in here today. Hang on just a second. Give me just a moment here. Big thank you to everybody for hanging out with us today. Big apology for not working in some of the stories like Graham Platner and all the drama around that. We'll try to work it in at some point tomorrow on the show. There's other stuff that I missed. This big Netflix story, we'll work that in at some point tomorrow. We're just running out of time. Is there anything else we could do? Oh, people are saying they're worried about the Spurs broadcaster Jacob Toby, who posted this on his Instagram. It says, "This is my girlfriend of 6 years, but I cheated on her with Lauren Waters," and then they added somebody else. "So feel free to continue following me if you really think I'm a good guy, because I'm not."
Ooh.
The sports broadcaster for the...
That sounds like something he didn't type himself.
Yeah, it sounds like she maybe got a hold of his phone. Jacob R. Toby, the broadcaster for, I guess, for the Spurs, for the San Antonio Spurs. And then the last thing is there was a pretty wild mudslide in India. No audio on this, but I'm watching here. And the mudslide is coming in, this landslide. God, the power that this stuff has is pretty astonishing.
That is insane. Oh my gosh.
God. How did that was... All right, I'm going to put this because it is crazy, and
there
you
was
got to
like
see it.
3 people in that video who got incredibly lucky.
Yeah, this guy right here, that, like, holy cow. I'm going to put that up on See It Now so you guys can see it whenever you get a chance. And don't forget to go look at that at some point because it is pretty shocking. Okay, that said, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Today I Learned this movie right here. Series Superman. Producer John Peters was working on a new Superman movie in 1996, and he wanted Superman to fight a giant spider in the third act. The film was canceled in 1998, and Peters reused his giant spider idea that year, but the movie had to be changed from Superman to Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
I loved that movie growing up.
I like the song, Wild Wild West.
West, Desperado.
Today I learned calorie counters on gym equipment are wildly inaccurate. Say it ain't so. Studies show elliptical machines overestimate calories burned by up to 42%. It's one of the most depressing things in the world when you see how much a cheeseburger is calorie-wise, and then you realize how much you have to work to get the cheeseburger off your body.
Yeah, but it's like everybody's body does calories different. I almost kind of just assumed that those were wrong.
They're all wrong. Today I learned this band. Talking Heads. That's right. The Talking Heads lead singer David Byrne initially struggled with writer's block, but overcame it by taking inspiration from some preachers. One day he found himself shouting, "You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile." This track became the Talking Heads' anthem once in a lifetime, thanks to the preacher videos he was watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show?